Allow me to share with you my vision for the university. I envision PUP to become the pioneering and leading national polytechnic university in the 21st century. With a national polytechnic university status, it will bring more opportunities for the university to further strengthen its academic programs and improve organizational performance as an institution for higher education. In pursuit for this vision, my mission for PUP is for it to recognize its catalytic role for national development. PUP will ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities through a re-engineered polytechnic education. By re-engineering, we look into the existing processes and programs in order to achieve higher quality of academic programs and services following the principles of effectiveness and efficiency. With this mission in mind, I have formulated 10 pillars as my reform agenda for the university. Pillar 1. Dynamic, transformational, and responsible leadership. Empower academic and administrative leaders by following the core principles of good governance to create collective growth and unity. Here I would like to highlight an innovation by introducing the development of an integrity management plan to assess, plan, and implement anti-corruption strategies that will secure the institution against corruption and abuse. Likewise, asset management and resource generation will be aggressively pursued to ensure productivity and finance the implementation of the plans and projects for the university. Pillar 2. Responsive and innovative curricula and instruction. We aim to provide world-class polytechnic education that responds to national and global needs by developing intellectually challenging curricula and design academic programs that are based on industry demands to provide the learners with adequate and relevant competencies and skills and prepare them for a successful and rewarding careers. In a rapidly changing world, we recognize the paradigm shift in curriculum to outcome-based education with lifelong learning approach. Pillar 2 also sits on the framework of internationalization of Philippine higher education through transnational education by promoting academic mobility among faculty and students and global dimension into the curricula and teaching process. Pillar 3. Enabling and productive learning environment. Following education in Industry 4.0, we aim to increase and enhance the use of new technology to enable student learning and engagement, as well as advanced teaching process and methodology through new and state-of-the-art facilities that will support the overall learning and teaching experience in the university. Pillar 3 likewise includes campus development and the provision of conducive learning centers and facilities for students and faculty. Pillar 4. Holistic student development and engagement. We will empower students as well as rounded learners and active young leaders as we open opportunities for various academic mobility and venues for honing skills and personal development, being the principal stakeholder of the university. Recognize academic freedom as a form of self-expression and a platform to showcase students' intellect, skills, and creativity. Pillar 5. Empowered faculty members and employees. Likewise, we are looking into the holistic development of our faculty and employees as productive, competent, and experts in their respective fields. We will encourage our faculty roster through formal education, capacity building, research and extension initiatives, faculty immersion, and other academic engagements, both local and abroad. We will ensure that both our faculty and employees will have a vibrant career development path as public servants in this state university. Pillar 6. Vigorous research production and utilization. We will continue to strengthen the research culture in the university by promoting discovery and innovation through increasing disciplinary and collaborative research integration across academic disciplines to create new knowledge, utilize research findings, and develop innovative products. Pillar 7. Global academic standards and excellence. Achieve the highest levels of recognition in quality and compliance standards from CHED, AACUP, and other international accrediting and regulatory bodies for higher education. We will intensify our efforts to achieve and sustain better academic performance and continue to excel as a top-performing school in various professional licensure examinations and produce board top-notchers, as well as sustain our status of being the most preferred graduates of employers. Likewise, we aim to establish and to be recognized as centers of development and excellence in our academic programs. Pillar 8. Synergistic, productive, strategic networks and partnerships. Synergize and forge strategic linkages and partnerships across all sectors of society and the global community in line with the overall plans and programs of the university. Establish alliance with the government, industry sector, NGOs, and the academe will lead to resource sharing, program support, and research collaborations beneficial for all. Pillar 9. Active and sustained stakeholders engagement. Harness a healthy and harmonious organization by empowering all its stakeholders, both internal and external, through open communication networks, consultative and participative undertakings, and team-building activities, recognizing that all stakeholders can greatly contribute towards the betterment of the university. Pillar 10. Sustainable social development programs and projects. Expand access to education, knowledge building, and information dissemination through sharing of expertise and resources for community development. Support inclusivity approach and education by embarking on Education on Wheels, which aims to bring access to education closer to communities, following the principle of no one will be left behind. As the University of the People, we should bring the university closer to their hearts to serve their needs and extend assistance in mainstreaming public service. Our institution must continue to stand as one for the values that we have inculcated. For the past 115 years, we have exemplified our quest for truth, excellence, equity, relevance, effectiveness, integrity, and academic freedom. Lastly, I call upon each and everyone to join me in this journey. Together we stand as one para sa sintang paaralan para sa ating bayan.
Emerson is a global technology and engineering leader. We operate in over 150 countries. We are 110,000 employees worldwide. And here in the Philippines, we have over 2,000 employees.
My name is Nikki Florento. I'm from Dell Philippines. I'm handling the university relations and services hiring.
Pagasa Steel supplies concrete reinforcing bars to the Philippines' booming construction industry. We have been the leading supplier of quality steel bars for the past 52 years.
EGS is an Algorica company. It is one of the fastest growing BPO companies in the Philippines right now.
I'm Cecil Venancio, and I'm a Branding and Communications Director of Sykes Asia.
We don't decide whether you're from a top-tier university or a state university. We decide based on our assessments that includes exams and interviews. Having said that, a lot of Del's workforce in the Philippines are from PUP.
55 to 80 hires annually, those coming from PUP alone. And as a matter of fact, 14 of the homegrown employees who started from staff and supervisors have been promoted.
Currently, we have 13 employees from the PUP. They're working in a different field, so most of them are engineer, some are in sales, most of them are in the higher position.
There's a huge pool of students that we can really harvest from, and we know the reputation that they bring. So we're glad that we have a university like PUP that we can rely on for our future employees.
I love the graduates of PUP. They're not only fun to work with, but you can rely on them. They are very, very dependable.
PUP graduates are an exact match and fit to Pagasa Steel's mission and vision.
The reason why we prefer the PUP graduates is the fact that we noticed that they have a common denominator, very hardworking. You see, whatever happens, they'd still work. Even if it's raining, they'd still come to work. You give them additional tasks, they'd accept. They are resilient.
Very passionate, aside from being resilient, because we can see that they're very dedicated with their job. And we've seen a lot of PUP graduates, not just in one department.
They turn out to adapt very well and adjust well to our company here in the Philippines. They're productive employees and they stay with us for a long time.
What stands out sa PUP graduate is their loyalty sa company namin.
Integrity and ethics, drive for results, intellectual capacity, and adaptability. So when we hire PUPians, they have this kind of competencies.
Of course, they're very intelligent, responsible. Responsible in a sense because whenever we meet these graduates and we ask them what are their future plans, they would always come up with answers like helping out their family, or because I'm done with school, I'll help out another sibling. So you would know already that these kids, even before they actually embark on certain work, they already have goals in mind. They're not maarte, no? Whatever you give them, they know that if it's for the purpose of the job, they will do it. And so they have, they're the ones that survive the challenges of work. They don't shirk away from responsibilities. They're the type who, whatever the job requires, they're up for the challenge.
PUPians enable people everywhere to grow and thrive.
PUP is one of the pillars of the nation because it is an institution that provides good graduates and people who really contribute to the success of the community or to the success of the country.
To all the people associated with PUP, if you're a graduate, congratulations, and you should be proud of yourselves. For those of you that are students, please continue the tradition, the proud legacy that your school has. Some of you, PUP, you work for us now. We appreciate you. We know you're good employees. For those of you that might work for us in the future, please consider us. We'd love to have you. We know that you make a great employee for Emerson.
PUPians, bring everything you are. If you have big ideas, let's talk. Come work where passion meets possibility. You can visit jobs.del.com for opportunities.
To pursue your dreams and work hard for whatever endeavor you will choose. And in the event that you will choose to apply in one of the fastest BPO companies in the Philippines, I would like to invite you to apply in EGS, an Alorica company, because our doors are open for all of you.
To all the PUP
SMART is very happy to have PUP graduates now enjoying their career and let them live more.
Hashtag Sykes to PUP. We will support you in more ways than one.
Tara na, maging magkasama na tayo. Mabuhay ang PUP!
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above the heavenly host. Praise Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marubdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmaliw ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Bayang mag-iing, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dilim mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, dulot na ng pag-ibig, sa manlulupin, di ka masisingil, sa lahat ng lubog, sa silang at sa langit mong bahag, may ginatang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng patawad mo'y talumpay na naglilingin, ang bituin at araw na kailan pa may madilim. Lumalang araw ng 100% buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Ang higaya na pag ay makahamit, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
A very pleasant afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Prepi Bootcamp, Developing Young Executives second module. This module is extra special because our resource speaker this afternoon is an alumni of our Sintang Paaralan PUP. Nakaka-proud, di ba? And we couldn't be more thrilled to have him on board for our session today. Our second module is all about shaping the future. Are you excited, young leaders? Isang virtual puso nga dyan. Ipakita natin, excited tayo for this module. Nakakatawa, ayan, ang dami nating participants today. Thank you so much. Okay, for the schedule, as you can see, our two groups were merged into one session, so members in each group can share their insights and learn together. Also, please be reminded of our much awaiting activity every after the lecture, the recognition day, where we will announce the outstanding executives. Our recognition day for our module 2 will be on February 13, 2023 at 2 in the afternoon via Zoom. May liwanag ba ako, anak? Naririnig ba ako ng malinaw? Like reaction nga please kung naririnig ako ng malinaw. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for the confirmation. So we will be posting updates about activities on our Prepi Bootcamp Developing Young Executives Facebook page and our alumni page. So please be guided accordingly. I would like also to remind our dear participants that if able, please do open your camera at all times during the lecture and feel free to ask questions if you need some clarifications regarding the materials presented by raising your virtual hand and wait to be recognized by our speakers. Okay, so your participation is highly encouraged and appreciated. So please also note that this session will be recorded for future reference. Right? Di ba? Lahat ng mga meetings natin, lahat yon ay recorded tapos pinopost natin sa ating FB group para yung mga hindi nakaka-attend ay na-update pa din. Okay. So to continue, wag na natin patagalin ito. May I call on the Assistant to the Vice President for Student Affairs and Services, also the Director of the Alumni Relations and Career Development Office for a short message and to introduce to us our speaker today, the proactive and very beautiful Engineer Florinda H. Oquindo.
Hi, good afternoon. So it is my honor and utmost pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to this second module of Prepi Bootcamp, Training of the Young Executive. I congratulate you for being chosen to be a part of this training. So let me start my speech by defining what is a leader. So to me, a leader is a communicator, an individual with the ability to share their vision with those around them. A leader is passionate. Their leadership has a purpose not for themselves, but for the welfare of the people around them. So a leader is a teacher, as great leadership will empower others to lead, take risks, and develop new skills. So these are some of the traits of a leader. Now, I am very excited for you, our student participants, to experience this kind of training, the Prepi Bootcamp. For you to enable perceive your inner potential, as you develop your skills, confidence, and motivation to engage directly in the wider improvement of our school, community within it, and most importantly, yourselves, investing in student leadership and its development, like this training. I will not make this speech long as I will be introducing our speaker for this afternoon. So I would like to say good luck and thank you for accepting the challenge to be a part of this training. So our speaker is very close to my heart. He is one of the notable alumni of our Sintang Paaralan, a computer engineering graduate, not to mention the year, of course. So my batchmate, so kaibigan, kabiruan, masasabi kong yung college days namin is sobrang memorable. Tulad nyo rin, dumaan din kami sa napakaraming deadlines. Hindi natutulog sa dami ng circuits na gagawin. Magdo-drawing sa tracing paper or Manila paper kasi noon hindi pa ganun ng technology. Gagawa ng codes for our programming, lahat na ata. Pero dahil sa aking talino at abilidad, nalampasan niya lahat yon. Kaya no wonder why, eto na siya ngayon. With over 14 years of accomplishments in productization, designing and launching software applications, and systems for telecommunications, enterprises, and consumer market respectively. He was the Vice President for Enterprise Solutions Group of Yondo, a Globe subsidiary for 9 years. Currently, he is the Chief Executive Officer of M360, one of the biggest cloud communications and A2P messaging company in the Philippines. My dear students, together, let's give him a virtual clap, Mr. Ramon Hirang.
Thank you so much, Flor, for that heartwarming introduction. So Flor was my batchmate in PUP. And I would like to thank Flor, Marvel, and the rest of the faculty of PUP who made this boot camp happen, not just for you, but also for me. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here with you guys. To my fellow PUPians, maraming salamat at magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. Siguro, I wanted to start this conversation between us, like setting the expectation and the ground rules. I just want your utmost participation, your listening, and please don't be shy or don't feel embarrassed. If you wanted to clarify or you wanted to ask questions, please do so at any time. Just raise your hand or give me a bit of a shout out in the chat room so that I could address your question, clarification right away. So I was told that this batch, particularly you guys, you are like the chosen few of PUP who has to undergo this developing young executive boot camp arranged by our tireless and beautiful, like Mabel mentioned, Miss Florinda Oquindo. Let's take advantage of this. You guys need to take advantage of this because as a PUPian, as a graduate of PUP many years ago, parang wala kaming ganito before. Hindi namin na-experience to. Or siguro hindi lang kami na-invite. Hindi kami kasama sa top students at the time, unlike you guys. So you are like the top students of your respective department or career preparation courses. At this point, siguro, I would like to request for you to open your video so that I can see your faces personally. You can see me. I hope I can see you too, so that this could be like a proper conversation. Because I want it to be more like, si kuya mo nandito, may tatanong ako sa kanya. Baka may share siya sa aking insight. We can do it like that. And better if we have a bit of line of communication. So please open up your cameras, your video, and then before we could proceed with our formal boot camp. Is that okay, guys? Yan. So I can see guys opening up their videos. Thank you. Don't be shy. Okay lang yan. Kailangan nating makilig. I'm sure not all of you know each other because I think you are from different department colleges, right? Yeah. Let's wait for the
You're correct.
Yeah, so siguro quick lang before we start the ball rolling. Tell me your name and your college, and that's it. Like for example, I'm Rico Lamberte. I'm from the College of Engineering, graduating class, whatever. Just a quick introduction of yourself so that I could have a better understanding of the demographics of this batch. So that I know, hindi lang lahat pala nasa engineering. Marami rin pala dito from other courses like humanities and finance. Can you do that? I'll call your name, Rain Sanchez. Go ahead. Walang audio.
We cannot hear you, Ala. Please unmute yourself.
Sige, let's skip sa John Jomari Arubio.
Hello sir, hello to everyone. I am John Jomari Arubio po and I'm from College of Engineering and taking Mechanical Engineering po right now. Thank you po.
Lahat kayo graduating this March? Tama ba? Hindi lahat.
Sa July po ata.
All right. Okay. So let's move on to Johnson Micah Fajardo.
Hi, good day everyone. My name is Jansen Fajardo. I am from the College of Political Science and Public Administration, and I'm taking International Studies po. It's nice to meet everyone.
Thank you. John Michael Peronce.
Ayun, hello po. Am I audible po ba?
Yes, I can hear you.
Magandang hapon po. Ako po si John Michael Peronsi or JM, 21 years old from College of Communication, Department of Broadcasting po. Ayan, hello po.
Abigail Hanoras.
Good afternoon po. I'm Abigail Hanoras from College of Science, BS Chemistry po.
Rico Lamberte.
Good afternoon po. Am I audible po, sir?
Yes, can hear you.
So I'm Rico Lamberte po. I'm taking BS Accountancy po. Good afternoon po.
Accountancy. Lorraine Bonita.
Hey everyone, I'm Lorraine Bonita. Lorraine Bonita from College of Engineering, specializing in industrial engineering po.
Thank you. Pauline Jordan.
Good afternoon po. I'm Pauline J. Jordan po from College of Science, taking up Bachelor of Science in Biology, major in microbiology po.
Wow. Okay, Yvonne Monique Sibal.
Hello po, good afternoon po. I'm Yvonne Monique Sibal from College of Accountancy and Finance, taking up Bachelor of Science in Accountancy po. Thank you po.
Okay. Bill Magdaong.
Good afternoon po, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
I'm Bill Magdaong, 22 years old from electrical engineering. I'm sorry, sir. I just got done with from a seminar po. I'm currently outside.
But you can, it's okay naman, no? You can hear us clearly, even if you're outside.
Yes po, sir.
Sige. Feel free lang to ask questions later if you can. Okay, Lester De Castro.
Good afternoon po. I am Lester De Castro from College of Accountancy and Finance, taking up Bachelor of Science in Accountancy.
Daniel Terencio.
Good afternoon po, sir. I am Daniel Terencio, currently fourth year student from College of Accountancy and Finance.
And Rain Sanchez.
Hello po. I hope I'm audible na po.
Yes.
And good afternoon po, sir. I'm Rain M. Sanchez po from BS Biology, College of Science. Thank you po.
Okay. Don Philip Ras.
Audible. I am Don Philip Ras from College of Political Science and Public Administration, currently taking up International Studies po.
International Studies. Okay. Maria Alicia Artates.
Hello po, I'm Maria Alicia Artates po, BS Chem student from College of Science po.
Lionel Tiamzon.
Good afternoon po. I am Lionel M. Shamzon from College of Science, taking up Bachelor of Science in Chemistry po.
Okay, Cristel de los Reyes.
Hello po, good afternoon. Cristel de los Reyes po from College of Political Science and Public Administration, taking International Studies po.
Thank you. Rachel Mayer Manifor.
Hi, good afternoon po. I'm Rachel Mercy Manifor po from College of Education, taking a degree in Bachelor of Education.
Okay. Aubrey Mula.
Good afternoon po. I'm Aubrey B. Mula from the College of Education, taking up Bachelor of Elementary Education.
Sino si ARCD o Carlo? Is he a student or?
Hi sir, kasama po namin siya sa office actually.
Okay, let's skip. I guess that's it for now because the rest are not opening their video. I'm just hoping that the rest is still listening and going to participate throughout the rest of the bootcamp. No, the reason I wanted to, start off with a bit of, conversation with you is para ma-warm up kayo. Diba? It feels good that you're part of the conversation and that you are talking, you're not just listening. Kasi ang hirap, in any meeting, laging may ganun na laging attending the meeting, but not speaking. So if you're not speaking and you're not raising any bit of insight, concern, or sharing your ideas, you're basically just there for the heck of it, for attendance, but not really putting yourself into this meeting, or in our case, the boot camp. So to start off, let me share my screen muna. There you go. You're seeing this now?
Yes, sir, we can see your screen po.
Okay. So for this afternoon, like Mabel mentioned earlier, I was invited to share with you my actual professional experience, how I got here, from the time that I graduated from PUP, that was a long time ago, to becoming a CEO of M360. So basically, shaping the future is a topic that is close to my heart, because I have a lot of I would say personal experiences that I could share, that I would like to share with you guys, so that kagaya nga na sinabi kanina dun sa video, PUP students are like one of the sought after employees of some or major corporation in the Philippines. But what I want for this afternoon is to help you becoming the leader that you can be. Because you're, I mean, in the video, no offense to that, they're just mentioning PUP students are the best employees to hire because you guys, we are hardworking. We come to work regardless if it's raining, come hell or high water, we're always there, present and available to work. But what I want you to do, but what I want to happen is for you to become the leader that inspire these employees to be there for you, for that company, any type of weather, and contributing to the company to the best of their abilities. So there's a bit of difference of just graduating and becoming an employee to graduating from PUP and becoming a leader that shapes the future. So shaping the future, for this topic, there will be two parts for this. Because shaping the future is wide in terms of context. Shaping the future of what? Di ba? Parang at the end of this, at the end of it all, it starts with you. Are you capable? Are you capable to even think about shaping the future? So so there's somebody's joining. So what I did is to split this topic into two. One is focus on you as a leader or as an individual, and how can you move from here? Because right now, if you look at yourself and you ask yourself, what do I want to what do I want to be? 10 years, 15 years from today, will I be as successful as expected, or as expected of me, or I will just becoming a regular employee and flounder throughout the rest of my career? Something like that. So the first part is all about you, and the second part is when you get to that organization and you are becoming a leader, and how can you improve yourself, and how can you position yourself to help the company or the organization that you're in to shape the future and becoming successful together. Okay, so with that, let me start. Where's my? Okay, so let me tell you all about myself muna, so that you know who am I, why I'm speaking like you this way, and what happened to me since the last time I set foot in PUP. So I'm a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering. It took me 6 years to finish college. So actually 5 years lang dapat yan, but it took me 6 years to finish college. From 1991 to 1997. After graduation, I joined Columbia Technologies as a salesperson for about 3 years. And then I moved on to Wolfpack as a product manager, offering security solutions. And after I left Wolfpack as a head of VAS, I stayed there for 9 years. I joined Globe Telecoms. And together with my experience in Globe Telecom as the head of product development and my experience with MDI Novare gives me about 4 or 5 years actual hands-on experience as head of product development and management. After that, I joined Yondu. I started off as head of the department, and then after a couple of years, I was promoted as the vice president for the enterprise solutions. Stayed there for 9 years, and then last year, 2022, I started my full year as a chief executive officer of M360. So I guess the question is, was I successful from the beginning or from the get-go? The answer is no. So this is the reason why today I wanted to share with you my personal journey, and at the same time impart some knowledge. Ano ba yung mga ginawa ko na nag-work in the past? Ano ba yung mga ginawa ko na hindi nag-work? And how was I able to transform myself into just an average student, I could say. If you ask me, was I an honor student when I was in PUP? The answer is no. How's my general general average in college? Was it impressive? Just right. So I'm not, probably, I would say, if I'm going to compare myself to you from where you are today, from where I was when I was in college, you are in a better position than me. You guys were selected for this Prepi boot camp for PUP to prepare you to become the leader of tomorrow. Like I said, I wasn't even invited during my time in PUP. But I persevere. I guess I discovered something along the way that allow me, to position myself in a better perspective from the management of the companies that I joined in. That's why they were able to trust me to handle their business unit, push forward the agenda of the companies that I joined in, like in Globe, in Yondu, and even now in M360. So again, good afternoon to all of you, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Ramon Hirang, and again, I am honored to be speaking with you all today about shaping the future. So as a student, you are at a unique and exciting point in your lives. You are learning and growing, both academically and personally. And you are positioning yourselves to be the leaders of tomorrow. You have the opportunity to shape the world in which you live and to make a positive impact on the people around you. That is why I am here today, to talk to you about leadership in the real world. Leadership in the real world, meaning when you get here in the corporate world, what can you do to be successful? I believe that shaping the future is an important and relevant topic for all of us. And I hope that our conversation today will inspire you to think more deeply about it and to consider how you can apply the ideas that I'm going to share with you this afternoon in your own lives. So let's get started. I look forward to an engaging and thought-provoking discussion with you all. So please, if there are things that you would like to clarify along the course of our discussion, feel free to raise your hand and say your piece, okay? Be participative para maging productive yung ating discussion. Okay? So shaping the future. If I ask you, is it okay if I ask question directly, you guys? I'm going to call names, and then I hope you can give me some thoughts and insight about the question. If I ask you, what is success to you? And what is your idea of success? Can you share your ideas on it? I'm looking at you, Cristel de los Reyes. Can you hear me?
Hello po. Am I audible
Hi, good
po?
afternoon. The question is basically, what is your idea of success?
For me, sir, yung idea ko po ng success is for me and my family to be financially stable, emotionally stable, physically, and especially ma-attain yung good mental health for us.
Okay. Thank you for that. Bill Magdaong. Sorry, Bill, ikaw pala yung nasa labas mo.
Okay lang po, sir. Same question po, sir. Like, what is success from
Okay, para sa iyo, what is your idea of success?
To me, sir, success is achieving power. It might be a bit parang masama pakinggan, but to me, it is achieving power.
Achieving power in what context? Superpower ba yan?
No, not sir. Academically, academic power and social. Like people respect me. Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. Last na, Rain Sanchez. What is success to you? What is your idea of success?
Hello po. Audible naman po.
Yes.
So, yung meaning of success po for me varies po from different situation. Like, for now, ang success po sa akin ay mga makapagpasa po on time ng mga requirements and such. But siguro po on a wider picture po, I think I can say that I am successful when I am able to do the things that I want to do po in life. And not only that, I can provide to my family as well. And also to explore din things po na I did not usually do po. So success po for me is growth along the way and being able to achieve what I want to do po. Yun po. Thank you.
Thank you, Rain. Actually, you're all of you are correct. Rain, you mentioned kanina, success is viewed differently by individuals, no? That's correct. Every single person on the planet defines success differently. For some, it's having enough food to eat every day. Like sinabi ni Rain na makapagpasa lang siya ng mga requirement, okay na. Pero sa iba, it's the accumulation of massive amounts of money. Like sinabi ng mga naunang they wanted to be rich, they wanted to be powerful, they wanted to do something, achieve something extraordinary. But success, you have to define the concept in individual terms. If people ask you, what is your definition of success, or what do you envision for yourself to be many years from today, dapat may ready answer kayo. Dapat alam nyo kung ano ang feeling ng success sa inyo. Kasi kung wala kang clear picture of what success in mind, it's a difficult process. It's a difficult undertaking moving forward, kasi don't get me wrong, if people don't know what they wanted to be 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, you're having a mentality of a loser. It is what it is. So everybody wants to succeed, but the question is, if you want to succeed, do you know how? Do you, okay, go ahead, succeed, but how? So this afternoon, I would like to share a few pointers sa inyo. Most of it probably you will say cliche, but then again, if you look at the essence of it, yun talaga yun eh. Walang shortcut eh. Walang ibang pwedeng gawin para maging successful but to follow this tried and proven recipe, not just recipe, but sort of framework for you to become successful in what you're doing, whether personally, whether in business, whether in your love life, perhaps. There's no shortcut. It's actually your conviction to become successful that will define who you are moving forward. So how do we become successful? It doesn't happen overnight, but in all of the success stories that you read on the mga books, internet, it all begins with your self-esteem. So like I said, this is a two-part discussion. One is I'm trying to build yourself. The second part is what will you do if you're already in the organization? So building self-esteem, if the definition of self-esteem, ano ba to? Yung confidence level mo sa personality mo. Self-esteem is the value that we put ourselves. It's the person we see when we look in the mirror. So pag tinignan mo yung sarili mo, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you see yourself as something like unsure, unstable, there's no confidence whatsoever. There's no ounce of confidence that you see when you look at yourself in the mirror. That's something that you should address immediately, because greatness can never be achieved unless we feel good about ourselves. You need to start feeling good about yourself. Let me tell you about myself also. When I graduated from PUP, because I didn't come from a wealthy family or something like that. My family, we're a family of 8. I'm the youngest. My dad dies when I was like 4 years old. My mom, who is a high school graduate, only like 36 years old at the time, has to carry the burden of raising 8 kids on all of her own. And ako, being the youngest, I get all the I have the less attention because, of course, in terms of education, mauuna yung mga older siblings. But then again, it's a hard and difficult life and process that I have to go through. So when I was in PUP, self-esteem is also an issue. I wasn't the most confident student at the time, but I guess there's an innate personality that is in me that allows me to, I don't care if I'm not wearing the best outfit for the day, so long as I could go and attend my classes. I somehow, inside of me, I was able to, get that courage to go through these difficulties and still feel good about myself, because you are in control. If you are not in control, these non-achievers, they create alibis for themselves. They always blame someone else. It's never their fault that they're not achieving. It's always someone else's fault. Everything that you do, all the actions that you take, you are responsible. So if you don't feel about yourself, there are so many things that you cannot control. You cannot control the weather, you cannot control the traffic, but you can control what you feel about yourself. If you choose to be feeling good about yourself when you wake up this morning, it carries over the entire day. So self-esteem is really important because it established the work ethic. It verbalized the goals. You have to create the plan of attack to follow the methods, and very soon your self-esteem will start to rise. Meaning you need to have understanding. You need to have some sort of plan. How do how can I make myself feel better? If you look good, you feel good. If you do good, you also feel good, right? So how do you look good? How do you feel good? You take care of yourself. Dress up nicely, the best nicely and clean, at least malinis na outfit, you know, and make yourself presentable. Mag-exercise ka so you don't feel sluggish. I do all that up until today. I still wake up like 6 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning. I would run 5 kilometers every other day to just to maintain my fitness level. Because that if you are working or if you are exerting physical activities, effort in physical activities, it creates a certain hormone called serotonin. It makes you feel happy. It makes you feel good about yourself. So that's a good way for you to jumpstart your day. So we all want to have more control over our lives, and we all want to feel as though we're on the path to becoming more successful. But you need to have a roadmap to get you there. You need a plan of attack and start with self-esteem. Okay? So anything that you do before you start your day, your activity, you got to make sure that when you get to your bed at night, you start feeling good about yourself so that when you wake up the following morning, you continue the work. The idea is feed your self-esteem, feed your ego if necessary, and feel good about yourself. That's the foundation. Because self-esteem comes with a catch. You must deserve it. How will you deserve feeling good about yourself? If you put in a work, kasi you cannot feel good about yourself if the following night, nakipag-inuman ka dun sa classmate mo, and the following morning, the previous night, nakipag-inuman ka, the following morning, masakit ang ulo mo. So when you go to class, or if you are in the workplace, you go to the workplace, you cannot expect yourself to perform 100% of your abilities because you don't feel good that day. And it becomes a habit. The problem there is if it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit that you're eating too much, you're not working out, you're most of the time going out with your friends, having a good time. Having a good time is not bad, but if having a good time all the time, that creates a bad habit. When you have that habit, you don't deserve success. There's no way for you to deserve success if you are already in that cycle of bad habit. Okay. Again, if you have a question here, just holler and raise your catch my attention. Second is once you establish your plan of action about feeling good about yourself, preparing yourself, you need to set the demanding goals. What do we mean by demanding goals? Set demanding goals to challenge yourself to reach greater heights. You need to improve your performance and experience a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. Again, it goes back to how will you feel good? If you are achieving something, you're producing a little bit of accomplishment every day, it adds up and it allows you to feel good about yourself. So you need to continuously set demanding goals. My personal mantra, if you ask me, is this simple line. Best is never over. The best is yet to come. So I need to challenge myself every day. I need to be better than what I am yesterday. Be better than what you are yesterday. You need to continuously set demanding goals so that you can reach a new level of heights. Small incremental achievement, small incremental satisfaction that ultimately adds up it becomes an accumulation of good effort, good habit, good accomplishments. Will help you becoming a better person than you are yesterday. Alam mo yung ano? Alam niyo ba yung what's this, the tagline of Garmin? Garmin is a company that produces this mga healthy lifestyle gadget. Yung mga watches, GPS watches. Their tagline is simple. Beat yesterday. Beat yesterday. And that's very, very powerful message. I want you to imbibe that to yourself so that every day, every waking hour of your day, you are set to beat your performance or your accomplishment from yesterday. It doesn't have to be very huge accomplishment. Just make sure that you are progressing little steps, little incremental achievement every day. So for you to set your demanding goals, you need to identify your purpose. You need to determine what you truly want to achieve and why it is important to you. This will give you the motivation you need to reach your goal. So when you wake up in the morning, you ask yourself, yesterday I was able to run 5 kilometers without getting tired. I am slow, but I was able to finish 5 kilometers. I'm going to run 5 kilometers again today, but this time I'm going to beat the time for me to run 5 kilometers by few more minutes. Let's say I finished 30 minutes yesterday. I'm going to finish this today by 29 minutes. Something like that. Same is true to your school activities. If you were able to submit your, your thesis on time last time, this time you are going to submit your thesis ahead of time by a day or so. So you need to identify your purpose. You need to determine what you truly want to achieve. It's important. And you need to set a very specific and measurable goals. Make sure na hindi kayo nagpa-flounder because ano nga ba yung goal ko today? Paano ko ba measure kung na-achieve ko ba yung goal ko today? These are just little things that you put in your mind. You don't necessarily need to track this on paper, but if you can, that's also good. But it's just the awareness, something that is embedded in your subconscious. You should put that in your subconscious mind that you are setting a bit of goals, small measurable goals every day. And that measurable goals, you're hoping that by the time you finish the day, you'll achieve it. You need to surround yourself with positive influences. It's also important because most of the time, the fire is in your heart. Your belly is like raring to go into the challenge and go achieve it. Alas 12 pa lang, tapos na ako sa goal ko. But sometimes, because you are in the influence or you're in the sphere of your circle, your friends, even your families, even your closest friends who will tell you, ay, mami yan, saka na yan. Alam mo yung pinakakalaban ng mga natin? Procrastination. Mamaya na lang. May oras pa naman. Bukas ko na gagawin yan. Remember, sooner is always better than later. So, procrastination, that is an enemy that you need to conquer, you need to master, so that you will not lose track, but you need somebody, you need to surround yourself with people with positive influences. It could be a mentor, it could be a friend who will, push you, it could be a family member who could push you as well to remind you that, hey, do not veer away from your good habits. Stay on track. If you veer away too much, somebody will pull you back. Somebody will remind you to stay on track. Kaya mo to. Huwag kang magpapadala sa iba't ibang type ng emotion na you encounter on a daily basis. You have to stay focused and you need to be disciplined. You need to embrace challenges, but the most important of all is you should know how to celebrate your success, because it gives you a bit of reward. It gives you the bit of satisfaction. When I'm running, because I joined a marathon, I finished 9 or 10 marathons since 2015. Every time I finish a marathon, I feel I don't feel good because my body's like breaking after running 42 kilometers. But I feel an enormous sense of pride every time I finish what I started. Every time I completed a full marathon running 42 kilometers, even if my body is breaking, if I feel all the aches in my joints, I allow myself to be happy. I allow myself to soak into the victory that I just achieved, because that is something that would feed me and keep me going the next time. So it's the same thing with things that you do every day. You need to celebrate your success and celebrate with your friends or your families. So that's the second discipline that you need to have in your life, to set a demanding goal. Once you set a demanding goal, the challenge, like I said, is the procrastination part. But you need to be ferociously persistent. When I say ferociously persistent, it's like what I said earlier, that nobody can distract you. Nobody can remove your enthusiasm, your motivation, because you are hell-bent on doing what you are supposed to be doing. You have to believe in yourself to do that. You have to stay focused on the goal, and you need to be willing to work hard. The most important aspect of being successful is about working hard. But sometimes you don't need to work hard every time. You also need to work smart by being flexible. You need to be flexible so that you can be open to adjusting your actions, your plan if necessary. Changing circumstances may require you to make changes to your approach, but you need to be focused. You need to stay focused on the goal at hand. And you need to learn when there are setbacks. Never give up, be persistent, and never give up on your goal. So learn if there are challenges, if you encounter setback, what happened there, and then do it again. Stay on track. So that's basically the essence of being ferociously persistent. Because every time, if you get sidetracked with what you're doing, if your goal, for example, is to become a summa cum laude or a magna cum laude of your field in biology or in industrial engineering or in accountancy, putting up a good work 2-3 times a day is not enough. Putting a good work once in a while that makes you that gets you noticed by your teacher, that's not enough. You need to do it day in and day out. You need to do it every day. Every day when you go to school or to your offices, you need to do it every day. Be consistent. I think the nature of people is that once they achieve certain level of success, they started to regress. They started to rest on, I was able to do it, but do I need to do it again tomorrow? The answer is yes. You have to be persistent. You have to do it again and again and again and then no let up, because the moment you let up, that bad habit of yours, procrastination, setting yourself to a bit of failure because you're not achieving your goals anymore, be wary of falling into the trap of getting into that cycle of bad habit again. So you need to focus and don't give up, learn from your mistake if necessary, but at the end of the day, you need to be very, very persistent. So it's a difficult task, it's a difficult thing to do, but if you are used to doing it, the 10,000 hours, for you to become good at something, sinasabi nila, you need to spend like 10,000 hours for you to establish that habit. It becomes a second nature to you. If you're doing this at an early age, like you're like what, 21 years old, 22 years old, 20 years old. At 20 years old, you're already doing these things, believing yourself, staying focused on your goal, be willing to work hard, being flexible, learning from your mistakes. You're doing this again and again. By the time you reach 25, by the time you reach 30, you're a way better person than you are today. I can tell you, you're gonna be a way better student, a way better employee than you can possibly be if you just, go with the flow. That's the biggest mistake that you're gonna do, going with the flow. You have to have your own sense of persistence, accomplishment, and feeling good about yourself. Okay? I hope that just to check if you are still there. Lorraine Bonita, are you there?
Yes po, sir.
Lorraine, sige, in your own words, how do you think you can improve on being persistent?
For me, sir, I can become persistent by first planning, setting a goal for myself kung ano ba yung gusto kong ma-achieve, and then I have to build up on my self-esteem and goal na parang kakayanin ko tong gawin at matapos. Yun po. So, by doing those first two things, I think I can continue being persistent with achieving my goals na po.
All right. Thank you, Lorraine. That's good. The thing that you mentioned, creating your goal, identifying your goal, and having that self-esteem to help you in your day-to-day tasks. That's a good thing to start. But you need to do it on a very consistent level, so that as early as now, you're already creating a good habit for yourself. Kasi nung graduate ako, I don't even know what I want to do after graduation. I just know that I want to make money. I want to be rich, but I don't know how. Para lang makagraduate ng PUP, I need to work as a part-timer in Pizza Hut for 3 years. So that habit basically allow me to learn the value of hard work. So when I was in PUP in 1992, I started working in Pizza Hut in SM Center Point, and then I work in the morning, and then I go to PUP late evening until 10 p.m. and I have to do it again the following day, going 7 a.m. back to Pizza Hut, and then at 3 p.m. going to PUP for my studies. So that cycle, that exercise helped me value hard work, value the result of my hard work, and then I was able to focus myself on achieving. I need to finish college, and because it's not easy. I don't have financial support. I have to support myself. So I learned how to believe in myself. I was able to exhibit or show at an early age that, I can do this pala on my own. And that early exercise in my life helped me set the foundation for my, future endeavors after college. Okay. Okay, learning from adversity. What is adversity? Adversity are like things that you think are going well, and then something will break. Something will tell you that no, you're not as good as you think you are. That's adversity. These are the challenges that you encounter along the way. Because hindi naman, if life is always rosy, hindi na natin kailangan to. You need to accept the fact that there will always be challenges that will come along the way. And then you will encounter adversity. The question is, what are you going to do? If you encounter a bit of problem, if you encounter insurmountable problem, what are you going to do? You need to turn those challenges into opportunities for growth and success. I know, it's easier said than done, but there's no way around it. If there's adversity, if there are challenges, there's no way for you but to face it head on. You need to embrace the challenges. Learning from adversity is an important aspect in our approach to success. Setbacks and challenges can be opportunities for growth and development. You embrace the challenges. That's what you do. That's what we need to do. You need to view the challenges as opportunities to grow and develop. Do not be afraid to take risks and step outside of your comfort zone. You need to learn from your failures. You need to be resilient. You need to develop resiliency by bouncing back from setback and persevering in the face of adversity. Now it goes back again to what I said earlier, be persistent. If there are setbacks, if there are adversity, it's part of life. You need to accept that. Sabi ko nga, if all things is rosy, we don't need to go to school. You don't need to study. Everything will fall on your lap the way you expect it to be. But life is not set up that way. Life is full of challenges. Life is full of adversity. Even now, at young age like you guys, you're already experiencing that on a many different level and aspect. So you need to stay positive. Parang recurring yung theme, no? Staying positive. Seek out support. It's a recurring theme, but at the end of the day, it plays a role into many different aspects of your journey to become a leader. Seek support, surround yourself with supportive individuals who can offer guidance and encouragement during difficult times. It can be your family, it can be your boyfriend or girlfriend. Kaya guys, to become successful in life, so you hear this from me, you need to choose wisely about your partner. The partner that you will choose to marry will have a significant impact on how your life will play out for the rest of your time on earth. So choose wisely, choose a good partner, choose a partner that can support you and be your pillar of support, your rock, so that during difficult times you have someone to lean on. You need to keep a growth mindset. You need to adopt a growth mindset and see challenges as a way for you to learn and improve on a personal and professional level. Right? Can I call on Lester De Castro? Lester, are you
Hello,
there?
sir. Good afternoon po.
Magandang hapon, Lester.
Yes
in
po.
your own words and understanding about adversity, why do you think it is important for you to embrace it?
First and foremost po, I agree with you po na dapat i-accept po natin yung fact na merong challenges na nag-exist. Kasi kapag hindi po natin na-accept yun, we keep on whining, nagre-reklamo, nagre-resist tayo sa idea na may challenges. Eh hindi nga po natin maaalis yung challenges na yun sa life natin. So what we need to do should think kung paano natin i-face yun instead of magre-reklamo na nandyan. Kasi po, sabi po, ang natutunan ko po sa law of attraction, the more you resist, the more it exists. So instead of resisting na nag-exist yung challenge na yon, let's find solution po for that challenge para po ma-surpass natin. Kasi it's for own growth din naman po.
All right. Thank you, Lester. That's very profound. The more you resist, the more it exists. Very profound. I like that. Tama yun, no? You need to embrace those challenges. Let me tell you something about my personal experience. When I started working as a product manager for Wolfpack many years ago, like 3 years after my graduation, my number one problem, communication. I don't speak fluent, I mean, my English is bad, to say the least. As a product of public schools, since elementary up until PUP, I wasn't able to fully hone my communication skills. That's my problem. I couldn't hide that fact that my English is not as good, my grammar is not as good, and sometimes I get called out, or I get some sort of ridicule every time I would compose a narrative, written and on speech. I got a bit of not so good comments. It's a challenge. It's a very difficult challenge. I don't know if that's a problem with you, but it was a problem for me back then. And I said to myself, I need to improve. I need to do better than what I am showing today. Remember the mantra, be better than what you are yesterday. Beat yesterday. So I said to myself, I need to improve this communication skills challenge. So what I did is I read books. I stopped watching Tagalog movies. I practice speaking in English every time that it's possible. So whenever I get that opportunity to talk to someone and she's an English speaker, I relish that opportunity. So that little by little, I was able to improve. I was able to improve by way of practice. Perfect practice makes perfect. So if you're practicing the wrong way, you're gonna learn the wrong way. So you need to practice it perfectly. So I up until now, I'm not going to tell you that I'm super fluent in the English language. Just doing okay, but better than what I was, not what I am previously. So those are the little things that you need to remind yourself that these challenges, if you just let them overwhelm you, you're not going to progress. So you need to learn. Okay. Okay, so there are other things that I'm supposed to share with you, but in the interest of time, I have to call and summarize all this thought process that I have in mind, so that I can give you a bit of flavor of everything. Surviving success is something that you need to learn or you need to practice, because when you get to the top or when you achieve a certain level of success, surviving success can be challenging. Either you fall back again to the old habit, or either you said to yourself that, oh, I already achieved certain level of success, I deserve a break, I deserve to slow down. And that's when your the the devil's playground is the idle mind. So what I meant to say is that if you stop at a certain level because you feel like you've already achieved something, you're wrong. You do not stop when you achieve success. You have to continue seeking better, grander, richer goals, or something that will keep you busy, something that will keep you more motivated. And during the process, you need to stay humble. Don't let success go to your head. Remain humble and grateful for your accomplishments. You need to keep learning. You need to continuously seek out opportunities for growth and development. Don't become complacent and always strive to improve. You need to set new goals as well. Set new and challenging goals for yourself to keep growing and moving forward. You need to also stay grounded and maintain a healthy balance in your life. Take care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So, kasi getting into, getting successful, or because there's a grind. You're doing it on a daily basis. It's a grind. Sometimes you need to check on yourself as well, and you need to take care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being, because sometimes you get exhausted, you get drained. You need to recharge. You need to put up another set of batteries so that you can go on to the next level. Stay true to your values and principles, even in the face of success. This will help you maintain a sense of purpose in your life. So, surviving success is like, kaya, madali lang yan. But actually, you'll never know unless you achieve success. So, on a personal level, these are the things that I would like to share you, because these are the things that, for myself, I imbibe it when I was trying to accomplish something. I am not saying that all the time. I use it like clockwork or down to the letter. It's just the very essence of it. Having your self-esteem, being persistent and surviving success and all that. These are guides. These are like your cheat code for yourself. Again, I'm saying you'll probably think, oh, but those are cliche. True, those are cliches. Being persistent, hard work, strong, being positive, those are cliche. But I tell you, those are effective cliche. I guess the learning here is that it exists for a reason, and the only thing that's stopping you from putting it into your inner core so that you can use it as a weapon for you to become successful in anything that you do, the only thing that's stopping that is yourself. If you let this other side of thinking that we don't need that anyway, success naman is para maging successful ka Okay, this is a good question. I want to call on someone. Si Sofia Chavez. Sofia, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon po.
Sofia, I have a question. Yung mga na-encounter mo, yung mga medyo nag-fail, yung mga taong tingin mo nag-fail or failure, ano madalas ang sinasabi nila na reason or excuses in life? Bakit sa tingin nila hindi sila naging successful because of certain things? Are you aware that there are those excuses?
They're from my experience po. They will justify their failures as not being meant to be or not being meant for them po.
Parang ano, no? Parang, sorry, hindi yan ang destiny ko.
Yes po, sir.
It's not in my cards. That's a good one. That's a good one. And to add more to that, actually, most people, or in your case, mga students, ang hirap maghanap ng trabaho kasi palakasan lang naman yan eh. It's not what you know, it's whom you know. Ganon sinasabi, di ba? Ano dyan eh. Mga taga-Ateneo lang tinatanggap dyan. Mga taga-Lasal, mga taga-PUP, hindi nahihirapan pumasok dyan. Wag na lang. Those are common excuses. Those are real life excuses. And don't get me wrong, when I was trying to land a job back then, nahirapan din ako. Pero I refuse to believe that this type, if you look at my career profile, it's a bit unusual for a PUP student to go into the business management leadership track. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Miss Florenda Oquindo can correct me on this. I could be wrong, but most PUP graduates mostly are on the technical, administrative side of career path. Most of them. The business, leadership, management track, more often than not, are reserved for the graduates of Ateneo, graduates of AIM. Di ba? Because doon sila nag-excel. Or probably because maraming graduates ang nandun. But the thing is, that's not true. They do not have the monopoly of that. You can also crack it. You can also be successful in your chosen field, whatever that is, if you put your heart into it, your mind into it. And this learnings that I am sharing with you this afternoon, if you somehow incorporate that in your way of thinking, kasi at the end of the day, it's how you think. Alam niyo yung kasabihan na, be careful of what you put in your head. Be careful of what you think. Because what you think is what you will likely do. So if you put things that are positive in your mind, that you can survive success, that you can persistent, that you can do hard work, that you can stay positive, that you can, improve your self-esteem by being good, feeling good about yourself, and then creating small steps of achievements all throughout your life. All of this will pile up and will become cumulative, and it will give you in a better position many, many years from today. If you believe that, nothing is impossible. When I graduated from PUP, I never thought I would be a CEO of a technology company like this. By the way, M360, for those who are uninformed, is a company owned 100% by Globe Telecoms. My career in Yondu and in M360 are all part of the Globe Telecom experience. I'm a computer engineering graduate. This is a technology. I'm in a technology space, but I'm doing mostly management, leadership, providing leadership, and creating strategy for the company. It's what I learned in school is important. I was able to use it, but the things that you learn after school are equally important to prepare you for the challenges ahead. Because when I became a CEO, the reason why I became a CEO is because I am prepared. I was prepared. And I'm ready to take the challenge when the opportunity to become a CEO is available for me. My skill sets, my capability, and my career preparation allow me to meet the challenge and embrace it and become successful, achieving the goals of the company, overcoming the challenges. So those are the things that you need to, understand for yourself. There are so many excuses why you can't be successful, but it's up to you to believe that. It's up to you if you're going to be victim of that excuses. You have the choice. Sabi nga, success is a choice. So if you choose to be successful, follow this concept, these ideas, and there's no stopping you. Like I said, you're in a very good position today than we are back then. And ang daming nangyayari and you are in a better position. So that basically concludes the first part of our session. I hope I was able to articulate fully most of the points that will help you become successful, at least on a personal level for yourself. The second part is the most practical. I mean, the more practical approach. The second part is all about you as a professional. The second part of our boot camp is all about you as a leader. Remember, as a leader, if you can imagine yourself many years from today, and now you are the captain of an industry or an organization, a CEO, the shaper and mover of your organization, a leader in your own right. What else can you do to get there? What can you do today to help you get there? How can you be a strategic leader in the real world? So those are the challenges. You're being a strategic leader in the real world. Okay? Okay. What do these brands have in common? Kodak, BlackBerry, Yahoo, Nokia. All familiar to you? Sige, let me call on someone. Reynalyn Dublin.
Yes,
sorry,
hello, yes
Rihanna
po.
Lane?
Yeah, Rihanna Lane.
Rihanna Lane, sorry. So, are you familiar with these brands?
Yung iba po, like Nokia and Yahoo, yung iba lang po.
Sorry, I guess generation gap yan. Nokia
Yes po.
is the famous brand of cell phone back in the late 1990s until early 2000. BlackBerry is one of the earliest version of smartphone, sometime year 2013, 2012, 2011, something like that. Yahoo was a search engine prior to Google. So I guess you're not quite familiar, all of you, not quite familiar with these brands. But these brands have something in common. Who can guess? Any brave soul who would like to share some thoughts? Parang may nakita ko nag-raise ng hand. Who's that?
We have actually, sir, four
Yeah, so
four participants raising their hands.
let me call on Jiro. Jiro Rioloso.
Hi. Rinig po ba ako?
Yes, can hear you.
Alright. Ang something common po is itong mga brands na to formerly sila po yung leader sa market, and then with the times na pag-iwanan, and then sa today po, they're basically parang afterthought na lang sila. Basically, they're failed and pretty much dead brands.
Yes, that is correct. So I guess may ginag-raise pa ng hand si Richel Mir Manifor. Richel Mir.
Hello po. So same lang po kami ng answer nung kanina po. So ito pong mga brands na po to, ito po yung mga well-known brands nung 90s nga po. And yung one thing common po sa kanila is that they failed to adapt to the changes that we have right now. Kaya po siguro nag-fail yung business po nila.
Correct. All the answers are correct. So Kodak, BlackBerry, Nokia, Yahoo, they all fail at some point. They were previously, as like the answers earlier, thank you nga pala kay who's the one who answered earlier? Si Richelle at saka si Jiro, thank you for your answer. They were previously like leaders in their respective industries. Kodak was the leader in, the camera print, yung film industry. Lahat ng film ng mga camera, Nikon, Sony, what have you, or even the films in the movies are all produced by Kodak because they are the only one with the technology they are the one who perfected the technology for film cameras. Same thing with Nokia. Prior to the ascension of Samsung, Apple iPhone, ano pa yung mga Huawei, Oppo brands na yan. In the late 1990s, there's only one brand that's loading it over. The most popular brand is Nokia, a Finland company, with its very famous operating system called Symbian. And BlackBerry is also the same, one of the early movers of the smartphone. They are the provider of the BlackBerry phone with the BlackBerry Messenger. And dati nung early 2000, 2010, 2012, 2013, pag naka-BlackBerry ka, status symbol yan. Yung mga artista, wala pang mga chat dati, hindi pa uso ang Viber, BlackBerry Messenger ang go-to communication channel ng mga popular individuals in the Philippines. So mga artista na madalas nasa BlackBerry Messenger sila. Yahoo ganun din. Yahoo was the early leader of the search engine before they got overtaken by Google. So all of them failed at some point, but the question is why and how. And ano yun? Bakit sila nag-fail? It's something to do with strategic leadership. So the ultimate fate of these brands can teach future business leaders of the world just one thing. It would be the importance of great leaders who have a clear vision for where the company as a whole is headed. Organizations lacking such leaders are bound to fail time and again. This is the observation in the industry that is common to all of these brands that I just mentioned. In the case of, for example, alam naman natin yung Kodak. Bakit sila nag-fail? Because they cannot go against the changing landscape of technology. So when the smartphone, the proliferation of smartphones, after na mawala ng mga BlackBerry, dumating ang Samsung, Apple iPhone, so your camera is already digital. So the digitalization of the film camera, hindi na nakasabay they failed to innovate. They failed to see that the future is already changing, that the technology is already changing, the market is changing along with the change in the technology, and they weren't able to get there on time until they become an afterthought brand in the business when the smartphone business is already lording over the the selfies, the snapshots for everyone. For Nokia, ganun din. Nokia is stubborn. They said that they have the best operating system in the world, which is the Symbian OS. But the Symbian OS is lacking in one thing, the touch experience. Remember when iPhone was introduced? It's the touch experience, the touch screen that made the difference, that made the entire experience of using or using a mobile phone very different. Diba? So it changes the kasi yung sa dito sa Nokia, yung QWERTY pa yung yung kanyang keypad. Tapos sa iPhone, they started introducing the design technology developed by Apple, spearheaded by Steve Jobs. Basically, what they wanted is to disrupt the experience of the user, not just the phone itself, but they wanted to change the experience of the user. They wanted to be more intuitive, and that's when Nokia started to lose market share. They started to lose their business in many different territories until they become just a relic. So pag meron kang Nokia ngayon, relic na yan in the past. Yahoo is the same thing. Yahoo experienced the same thing when Google was starting, garage operation ng Google at the time. They wanted to sell their company to Yahoo, but Yahoo said, no, we have the better algorithms, we have the better platforms. I don't think we need you guys. So they didn't buy Google. So that's their mistake. Now Google is the largest and the undisputed leader in anything. Search. So if they ask you about your internet experience, you'll talk about Google. But now there's a challenger with Google. Do you know? Alam niyo ba kung sino ang challenger ni Google ngayon? Who could potentially disrupt? Joe Marie Arubio. Please share with us your thoughts.
Sir, I think the OpenAI ChatGPT po. If I'm not mistaken, sir.
No, you're actually correct. They are saying that it's not established yet, but potentially the ChatGPT, the artificial intelligence from OpenAI, which is now backed by Microsoft. So Microsoft recently invested $10 billion for the continued R&D of ChatGPT and OpenAI. So kasi OpenAI is the mother company, ChatGPT is like the virtual assistant For anything you ask under the sun, he will always have answer. And he can actually make the coding for you. And then meron pa yung mga artificial intelligence for text-to-speech, creation of, graphics, the prompt into actual graphics. So the combination of all this, backed by trillions of data sets provided by the ChatGPT engine or the GPT engine, allow these AI products to basically give you everything that you need, everything that you ask, anything under the sun, they have an answer. So again, those development is a manifestation of an ever-changing landscape, ever-changing world. Sabi nga kanina doon sa PUP, because of this rapidly changing world, PUP is adapting, introducing new programs, introducing new ways of learning. Same thing is happening here. The key here is the world is constantly changing. The world is rapidly changing, sometimes in a slow pace, oftentimes in a very rapid pace. So that leads me to importance of strategic leadership in the world of VUCA. VUCA, V-U-C-A. VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So what is VUCA? VUCA is, if I recall it correctly, it is a term that coined sometime 1990s, initially used by the US military to describe a situation where everything is volatile. The data, the information are ambiguous. There's a lot of complexity around that is happening, and the ambiguity is more than what they can process at the time. Uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. It is used to describe a rapidly changing, complex, and unpredictable nature of the world, particularly in the context of business and leadership. So in our discussions this afternoon, we're going to focus on VUCA in the context of business and leadership. Okay? In a VUCA world, strategic leadership is crucial because it helps the organization to navigate and respond to a rapidly changing and unpredictable environment. Excuse me for a second. Sorry, couldn't find the mute. Okay. So volatility, it refers to the rapid changes and fluctuation in a system or environment. It can refer to market changes in finance or a situation that changes quickly and unpredictable in many different levels. This term is used to describe a state of unpredictability, instability, and rapid change. In the context of VUCA world, uncertainty refers to the lack of clear information about events and outcomes. Like for example, what's happening in the world today? You look back, if you are following the news, we are entering again another phase of VUCA world. Volatile, uncertain, complicated, and ambiguous. What's happening right now is that you know that there's a war going on in Ukraine. And there's a threat of war, constant threat of war between China and the US. There's a constant threat of war between South Korea, Japan, and North Korea. And there's a lot of impact on those political, market, and technological landscape. So because of the war in Ukraine, our food supply all over the world is affected. The supply chain of oil that supposedly coming from Russia, going to the Middle East or going to Southeast Asia is also affected. So nakikita nyo, yun ang reason bakit ang mahal ng mga bilihin. Potentially, it has an impact bakit mahal ang sibuyas, although it's a different, it's localized scenario. But those things that's happening thousands of miles away has major impact on the way we live our lives here in the Philippines. Not just us, but all over the world. Maybe in some other areas like in Syria or in Pakistan, it has a bigger impact. To us, it has an impact, but not as dire as what they're experiencing. So the question is, how is this crucial? A strategic leader must be able to anticipate and respond to the change, to make decisions that will shape the direction of the organization. As a strategic leader, you should be able to think critically and creatively. And you should be able to inspire and motivate others to work towards a common goal. Because any organization to stay competitive and successful in the face of uncertainty and change, they need someone to step up and be that catalyst of change and be that catalyst of action. They need someone like a strategic leader to lead them and get past this challenge and surpass the challenges in the VUCA world. Volatile, uncertain, complicated, and ambiguous. Okay, so what will it take? What will it take for us? And how can we become one? So in the layers of excellence to win or to become successful eventually, they were saying that there's two different school of thoughts: management and leadership. What's the difference of management and leadership? In simplest term, management is basically the one executing the operational processes. If the strategy that was laid upon them, they're the one executing to the letter, down to a very precise level. And leadership, on the other hand, is more on the macro side of this, and making sure that leadership is present at times when the company is undergoing drastic change and facing complicated scenarios. So for you to be able to become a strategic leader, you need to have certain level of expertise or at least understanding on how to perform your job according to what is required by the organization. The first layer of excellence that you need to master is operational excellence. Operational excellence, for example, is about determining where to source and how to optimize the supply chain and meet the near-term objectives as reliably as possible. On the other hand, strategic leadership is seeing the bigger picture and being aware seeing the bigger picture that might blindside you. You need to spot the undercurrents in or outside of the organizations, and seeing the connections with other decisions and winning the engagement of all the players or stakeholders, and noticing how well they are aligned. So strategic excellence is more or less a higher level of excellence than your operational expertise. When the organization is on a very stable environment, the strategy that is outlined to them is easy to implement. It's like a linear approach. The one that is being highlighted on that scenario is the operational excellence of the manager or of the leader. They were able to execute the near-term objective as efficiently as possible, but also providing a bit of strategic excellence. Leadership, on the other hand, is about getting people on board or getting people to buy in to the strategic choices. It often involves developing the organization culture and creating strong collective commitment to the goals and objectives of the company. Again, as a nature of a leader, leadership requires the abilities to influence people. You need to have that charisma, the charm, or like people will buy in to your vision, to your mission, because they see you as a leader who can lead them on a very successful path. So leadership is all about influence in providing inspiration to people. But sometimes leadership is not enough. Sorry. So sometimes the mainstream leadership is not enough. In times of crisis and change, when people are confused, like I said, in the world of VUCA, in the world where there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of confusion and a lot of uncertainty on what to do next, the ordinary leader must rise to the level of strategic leadership. That means navigating the unknown, recalibrating the strategy, and pointing out where to go to get the team back on track and prevent the paralysis. Because what's happening is every time that there's like, oh, our market is changing. No one is buying our products anymore. What are we going to do? Leadership may not be enough. You can be as charming and influential as possible, but if you don't combine your leadership skills with strategic excellence and operational excellence, you are doomed to fail. Because in that kind of scenario, it basically throws your well laid out plan out of the water. So strategic leadership is the epitome of success if you are able to get into this layer of capability, layer of excellence. Okay. So the question is, do they really exist, the strategic leaders? In reality, there is actually a shortage of strategic leaders. You know, the strategic leaders, the special kind who can steer the organization and handle the world of VUCA very well. In reality, most leaders, managers, and key personnel, they don't know. They don't know the notion of being strategic. Paano ba maging strategic? I remember one time, there was this instance where every year in the company, there's a called PPE, or Personnel Performance Evaluation. So the leader, in this case, our CEO previously in the company would assess the manager. Let's say, I'll call the manager, itago natin siya sa pangalang Jomari Arubio. Jomari Arubio, during his appraisal yearly assessment, the CEO would say, Jomari, you're very good in executing our plans. You're very good in handling the operational processes. We're able to achieve 100% SLA with the customer, blah, 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 blah. And then Jomari start to feel good about himself. I'm feeling good because I'm getting good appraisal from my boss. And then the boss suddenly said, however, you are not being strategic. And then Jomari was confused. Not strategic in what context, in what aspect? Why am I not strategic? And how can I be strategic? The problem also is because some of the leaders, they don't know how to properly convey and provide concrete advice on how to become strategic. The problem is not just because of poor feedback, but a poor understanding of what it really means. As a consequence, organization exhibit a lack of urgency or effectiveness to develop strategic leadership. So when the CEO mentioned to Jomari, Jomari, you're not strategic. And then when Jomari asks, how can I be strategic? Dapat nandun ka kung nasaan yung market. Go where the ball is. Para kang rebounder. Dapat alam mo kung saan pupunta yung bola. But to Jomari, ang labo. Hindi ko alam kung anong ibig niya sabihin. The notion of being strategic is fuzzy. It's poorly defined. And parang misteryoso naman. Parang mystery. Paano ba ako magiging strategic? How can I be strategic? But in a sense, the CEO is correct. Jomari, for you to be strategic, you need to anticipate. You need to learn how to anticipate and go where the market is going. If the technology landscape is changing, if the market is reacting, if that political, environmental changes is impacting the business, you should be able to have a strategic plan to execute, to counter that, or to ride on that, or to survive that. But then again, it's very broad. That's why being strategic is not an easy task, not an easy thing to accomplish. Clear? All clear, guys? Are there any question? Something like you would like to clarify? Sige nga, thumbs up nga kung naintindihan niyo lahat. Just would like to make sure that before we proceed, everybody is on the same page. Can you give me guys a thumbs up? All right. Cool. Sige. So we're going to the exciting part na. What is strategic leadership and how we can attain the qualities? So if you think you can be a strategic leader, the answer is definitely yes, absolutely. You can be a strategic leader, but again, you need to remind you that when times are stable, meaning the economic, social, political, technological forces are reasonably stable, the leaders can formulate a very straightforward action plans to execute the strategy and deliver the desired result. Pero once the outside forces, like the things that I mentioned, the economic, political, technological, turns volatile, turns uncertain and ambiguous, the right strategy that the company formulated from the beginning can quickly turn into a wrong, stupid strategy. So let me give you an example. So alam niyo naman na ang market leader ng telco ngayon is Globe, right? In terms of subscriber base, in terms of I guess at some point na-overtake ng Globe ang Smart. Kasi Smart right now has like 70 plus million subscriber base. Ngayon si Globe has 85 or 86 million subscriber base. So in terms of largest network in the country, in terms of subscriber base, revenue-wise, Globe is number 1. And then it happened 2016 when Globe undergo massive network modernization ahead of Smart. So Smart loses that number 1 telco title sometime 2016, 2017. And Globe continued to become a dominant leader in the industry for quite a while. And then, nag-invest ang Globe ng, sino man naka-Globe dito? Di ba? Nakita niyo biglang may 4G and recently they are working on their 5G rollout, but I don't think 5G will be as prevalent as 4G. So 4G investment, LTE investment, LTE, 4G, these are radio communication technologies that will supposedly will help deliver a better internet data experience for all subscribers of Globe. So doon nag-focus ang attention. Then March 2022 happened. Ano ang nangyari nung March 2022? March 2020. Ano ang nangyari nung March 2020? Lockdown, pandemic. Nagkaroon ng emergency lockdown. The first emergency lockdown was March 2020. Ang akala natin, ano lang yan? 1 month. Naging 2 months. Naging 6 months. Tapos 2 years pala. It lasted for almost 2 years. So what happened? What impact did that volatile, uncertain world bring into the landscape of the telco? Before the pandemic, the center of gravity of people, nasaan? Nasa schools, nasa offices, malls, shopping centers, places of worship, public places. When the lockdown was implemented worldwide, especially here in the Philippines, when the Duterte admin implemented the lockdown, it instantly changes the fundamental aspect of presence. What do I mean by that? The center of gravity changes. When it was previously in the public places, it becomes in your home, in your houses, kung saan kayo nakatira. So most people were scattered. Pumunta ng provinces, nagsiuwi doon sa kanilang mga hometown. So if you look at the public places previously, it's like ghost town. So anong impact nun? Nagbago yung center of gravity, meaning the investment made by the telco to improve the 4G, to improve the cell site, the base stations that is supposedly catering to public places, now nobody's using. Diba? May ano ba? May nagmimisa ba noon? Wala. Meron ba pumupunta ng mall? Wala. So yung mga cell site na supposedly aim to deliver a 4G experience, no one is serving, nobody is using it. Ang problem is yung mga tao na nasa house, ang hina ng 4G. Ang hina, even the 3G is suspect because the concentration of the infrastructure made by the telco is towards the public places. So ngayon, sino ang nakinabang? Nakinabang is the other player. Who's that guy? The third shop. So it's not Smart and Globe. It's can you help me here, guys? So it's the other telco providing most of the fiber to the home.
PLDT, sir.
Sorry?
PLDT po? Not sure.
No. Smart PLDT is just the one the same. It's I forget the tip of my tongue. Anyway.
Sir.
Yes, Dennis Oy. Converge. Thank you for that. So Converge yung nakinabang because Converge, they cannot compete with mobile. They cannot compete with the implementation of 4G or 5G or LTE network all over the country. They focus on providing DSL modem and improving that to fiber to the home. And most of their infrastructure are centered towards catering the home users. So when pandemic was put in effect and the lockdown was put in effect, everybody's in the home. Now they are going after activating subscription of Converge home broadband than a PLDT or a Globe because the infrastructure is already available to them. So that kind of impact when the world suddenly turns volatile and uncertain, there's a huge impact on these companies. And that's just one example. So when the outside forces turns volatile, the right strategy, because it's a right strategy to, implement rollout of 4G network in the country. But when the pandemic happens, that right strategy that's a wrong strategy. At that point, now we're back to normal. Now they're monetizing it again. It's again a right strategy, but it's too late because the other telco already secure huge subscriber base for themselves. That gives them the relevance. That gives them the authenticity on the credential that we are a major telco player in the country. When before it's just a small player. See, that's how it is. That's how things could quickly change in an instant if we are not ready with all of this information to process to make strategic decision. So you need to look outside in. Outside in is an exercise where you look at the external marketplace and condition when addressing challenges without getting wrapped up in internal organizational challenges. What I mean by this is that when you are making a strategic choice, you need to look at your customer, your market, the technology landscape, and then you look back, ano ba yung mga capability internally? Anong limitation namin? But don't let that limitation internally hamper your decision to make strategic choice based on what you're looking outside of your window. Future back. The leader played, this long game with a long-term vision guides the short-term objective in a flexible way. You must plan backwards. from the idealized future to what they must do now to be ready in 3 years or more. So ibig sabihin, parang you anticipate, you look ahead than you normally would. So that, and then marry that, align that with ano ba ang ginagawa namin ngayon? And how else can we shift slightly so that we are ready for any eventuality? Okay. So I would like to illustrate here how to help you. These are the key disciplines. If earlier I gave you sort of disciplines for your personal improvement, these are the key disciplines to help you thrive as a strategic leader. One, you must anticipate. You need to challenge. You need to interpret, decide, align, learn, and do it all over again. It's a cycle. It's a process. It's a multiplicative in nature. So when you exercise them together, it mutually raises your situational awareness and strategic aptitude. What do I mean by anticipating? Anticipate means changes in the market environment by staying closely connected to customers, to your partners, even to your competitors, rather than being disconnected and reactive only when the outside forces started to change. Challenge. What I mean by challenge is you need to challenge the assumption and status by surrounding yourself with people who think outside the box. People who think, alam mo yun, yung people with may takip ng sa kabayo. Most people think that way. It's like very straightforward, very narrow. So you need to identify the people who are capable of thinking outside the box. And those people who are new to ideas, you need to challenge the old age assumptions of your business. Third is you need to interpret a wide array of data and viewpoints rather than looking only for viewpoints that confirms old or prior belief. You need to make a decision what to do after examining the options and then exercise the courage. Importante yan. When you're making a decision, you need to have that courage to get it done rather than getting paralyzed by overanalyzing and overthinking about the decision process. So after making a decision and your conviction with your decision is so strong, you need to align the interests and objectives of the stakeholders based on understanding the different views rather than relying on the power of the position. So again, alignment of interests, rallying your key people, make them understand the different views, make them buy into your objectives, and don't just do this because you are in a position or because you are the CEO. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it's not. It's not working, or it doesn't work. So you have to do the proper alignment. And lastly, like the principle in the past, surviving success, you need to learn from those successes. Not just learn from your success, but also learn from the failure. If the base of your interpretation leads you to a wrong decision, and your wrong decision leads you to a wrong outcome, you need to learn why. You need to know why. So you need to learn from your failures by experimenting. You need to make small bets and mining the lesson from both the good and the bad outcomes of your decision, and create a quick learning cycle. Ang key dito, guys, is yung the time for you to anticipate, challenge the assumptions, interpret the data, making a decision, aligning, and learning. The time for you to reach into that learning curve. Alam niyo yung mga, I'm sure narinig niyo yung mga startup bootcamps, maraming mga sandboxes na ideas na ginagawa sa ng mga startup businesses. Their number one mindset is fail fast to learn fast. O parang kaya ang ginagawa nila very agile and agile product development. They put out MVP or a minimum viable product into the market. They test the responses, and from executing that minimum viable product in the market, they get responses. They interpret the data, and then they make a decision, and then they align with everyone, and then learn. The learning from that minimum viable product. Is it a success? Is it a failure? Where did it fail? Or why it succeed that way? So it gives the business owner a sense of understanding of what the market really wants or what the buyers would really willing to pay for. Fail fast is better than not learning at all. Meaning, if you don't launch, if you wait until all your products are set and ready with all the with all the functionalities of the product, you're not gonna be able to go to market on time, and that is a huge mistake, often mistake committed by business owners. Any question here, guys? I'm going to discuss in the next slides what will it take for you to anticipate? What will it take for you to challenge? What kind of mindset you need to have to challenge the assumptions, the old belief? What will it take for you to have a courageous decision? So if there are no question here, basically, I want you to have, remember this, ACID AL. ACID AL, anticipate, challenge, interpret, decide, align, learn. Because this is what you're going to use when you are already running your own team, your own business, your own organization. These are the discipline that you need to master for yourself, for your team, and for your organization to become effective and a well-oiled machine when you are conducting business. Okay? So the roadmap to strategic leadership. So this roadmap to strategic leadership is actually the tools that you need to become an effective and strategic leader in the future. Okay? The discipline of anticipation. Anticipation, coming from the root word anticipate, is basically looking ahead and it's like predicting the future. Seeing sooner and scan wider. For you to be able to anticipate effectively, you need to have that capability to see sooner or scan wider. Whether you are an executive, head of business unit, an entrepreneur, a student with leadership aspirations, this 6 discipline of strategic leadership, the ACID AL, the one that I mentioned, so I just invented the ACID AL, will have an immediate benefit in your current job. Or as a student, it can help you get that, objective that you have in mind, like being a lister, perhaps, or a cum laude. Yeah, if you're a worker, it can help you get the promotion you desire, or at the very least, will help equip you to shape your future. Seeing sooner and scan wider. This is the two tools of anticipation as a discipline. When you anticipate, it's like predicting the future, but it has to be scientifically grounded. Don't take for a second that what you have in mind is already the reality that will happen in the future. It has to be grounded with reality. I have here sort of like a metaphor or an analogy of seeing sooner, just to give you a bit of understanding what does it mean to have the tool of seeing sooner. So let me try this. I didn't check this if it will work, but I hope it does.
Kain na! Prito lang! Hindi lang prito! Gawing suprito with nor crab.
What do you want?
Wait a minute. Sorry. Sorry. Can you hear the sound? Wala, no? Oh shit. You guys hearing the sound? Wala.
Wala po, sir.
Oh, well, wait a minute.
Cyrillus, the wise, the old. So finally, after 5 years of scratching a living in
Sorry about that. Because I'm using two screens, so I guess we have to skip that. I cannot make it work for the sound, but I should have embedded that video earlier. Anyway, so key questions or concept to ask yourself to see sooner. To help you get guided with key question, these are the concepts that you need to ask yourself. Number one is, how well do you know the track industry trends that pose threats or opportunities to your business? This is important so that you get to avoid the same fate like the one that I mentioned earlier, Kodak, BlackBerry, and Yahoo. You need to have a very good understanding of the current trends that are possibly posing threats or opportunities for your business. And what did you see sooner than others? What could you possibly miss? Closer to your business, how well you foresee the changing needs of your customers. Oh, sorry. What am I? Sorry. So how will you anticipate the moves of your competitors and their likely reaction to new initiatives, products, or services? For Scan Wider, key questions to ask yourself is, do you see market uncertainty as a source of potential advantage because you are better informed? Do you gather information from a wide network of experts and other sources, both inside and outside your function or industry? Or do you think in terms of multiple futures and new business models different from today? Siguro to help you understand this, seeing sooner and scan wider, the discipline of anticipation. Let me give you an actual experience. Again, my favorite company, Globe Telecom. Globe Telecom, as you know, maybe I should ask you directly. Wait a minute. Si Julian Nazaren, Julian Tenerife.
Yes po.
Yes. Okay. In your understanding, what is Globe and what Globe Telecom? What is the business of Globe Telecom to you?
Ano po, for me, yung Globe po, nagbibigay po sila ng internet service. Isa po silang internet provider. Tapos bukod din po sa ganun, parang po ganun. So, ganun po pagkakaano sa Globe.
Okay. Well, actually, that is correct. For the longest time, Globe Telecom is a telecommunications company, a mobile telecommunications company, providing mobile services, internet services, and other telco-related services to consumers. But right now, if you look at the current demographics of the Philippines, consumer demographics, total population of the Philippines as of today is probably around 116 million. 116 million Filipinos. Do you know how many has mobile phones? 180 million or 170 million Filipinos has mobile phones. How did that happen? And 170 million Filipinos has mobile subscription. Ang ibig sabihin nun, saturated na yung market. Sobrang halos lahat na ng Filipino meron ng mobile subscription. Yung iba, karamihan, dual line. Merong Globe, merong Smart, merong dito. So yung iba, tatlo, lahat meron. So if you look at the addressable market, we call it addressable market. The Philippines is highly saturated telco business country. So therefore, ang question, saan pa kukuha ng growth? Wala ka nang mabentahan, lahat meron na. Yung internet naman, halos lahat na rin, majority meron na rin. Either nag-i-internet using their mobile or may internet sa bahay. The potential for growth is very marginal. If you're a telco business, saan ka pa kukuha ng growth? So in the likes of Globe, with very huge operational capacity, with huge manpower, with strong aspiration to continue the dominance in the telco business, if the stakeholders are the Ayala and Singtel, well, ask Globe, how will you define your growth? Where will you place your money or your bet in the next year to come? It's a tough question. So Globe, seeing sooner and scanning wider, our CEO, Mr. Ernest Koo, my boss, he implemented a shift in the paradigm, in the business paradigm of Globe. Seeing that eventually the market will be saturated, eventually the traditional telco business will crawl into profitability. He already set up the groundwork for becoming a technology telco company. What does it mean? The vision of the Globe CEO is to transform Globe into a provider of digital solutions and platforms to the Filipino people. So that's why they created 917 Venture Holding and the Kickstart Ventures Holdings Company. So under the 917 Ventures, they create, or they start working on developing startup companies like M360 that serves the digital the digital requirements of the Filipino people. So we have the fintech industry. They created the fintech industry, that pillar, the ad tech industry, the health tech industry, the e-commerce industry, and the IT solutions and services. As of today, under the 917 Ventures, there are over 14 or 15 companies, operational companies, that are already serving this many different technology industries that serves the digital platform solutions to the Filipinos. I'll give you example. Under the fintech, nandyan ang pinakakilala niyong lahat na si GCash. GCash under the Mint Holdings Company, together with Fuse and GXI, they offer financial solution to Filipinos doing remittances, money transfer, buying load, paying for government fees, basically anything that involves financial transactions, except digital banking. And under the health tech, you probably heard of them. Consulta MD is one of the leading health technology provider, where you can call, instead of going to the hospital, you can call and talk to the doctors directly. And then together with AID, or the telemedicine company, the app of AID and Consulta MD together forms the largest and most downloaded health-related application in the Philippines. Under the ad tech, we have AdSpark, we have the Inkiro and Dipsy, who are providing data management platform, campaign ad campaign management, and then supported by M360. M360 provides business messaging, connectivity, all A2P messaging channels, not just SMS, but including Viber, including WhatsApp, Instagram, and other emerging technologies or emerging channels like Discord. All of these messaging channels, together with the SMS, forms part what we call omni-channel messaging solution under a communication platform as a service platform. So what I'm saying is that the vision to anticipate, I mean, the capability or the ability of the Globe management to anticipate sooner, seeing sooner that this thing will happen, and scanning wider, what else can we do? What else can Globe can be a relevant player in the Philippines? So basically, the answer is in the digital space, and seeing sooner allow Globe to be able to put this infrastructure in place, so that the time when the telco is, very cutthroat competition with Smart PLDT and the other smaller telcos, the growth is continuously coming in. There's still a lot of growth potential for the Globe Group, not just for the telco business, but for the digital platforms. So that stroke of genius that our CEO has implemented several years ago is now taking shape into a productive companies like Mint, Gcash, like M360, which is, by the way, in case you don't know, M360 is the largest business messaging communication platform in the Philippines. We have over 10,000 or more than 10,000 accounts subscribed to M360. All of the messages that you receive when you make a transaction with the bank, you get notification, you get one-time PIN requests. When you change your password with Google, when you sign up with TikTok, your favorite social media channels, there is an accompanying SMS notification or one-time PIN, either promotional or transactional messages. It all came from M360, especially if you're a Globe subscriber. Chances are you guys are interacting with M360, you just don't know it. I am part of your daily life, you just don't know it. So again, our vision is to continuously make that experience better. So we're adding more channels, we're adding more capabilities so that in any channel of your preference, whether it be in Viber, WhatsApp, we can follow you and we can communicate with you effortlessly and seamlessly. So that's just one of the prime example of the need for a leader to develop this type of discipline, seeing sooner, scan wider. And there's a lot more topic that I would like to discuss here about anticipation, but I have to, again, squeeze those information into bite-sized information so that you can understand. I hope that my examples, the examples that I'm sharing with you would help you understand better about this discipline, about this particular topic that we are discussing. Okay? Any questions so far? Any brave soul who would like to add more insight to this? Okay, Maya. Alam mo na ano? Ayan, si Jo Marie. Jo Marie, thank you for asking question. Please, sir, go ahead.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon po. Sir, ang ganda po pala, sir, na parang kayo po yung sa OTP, mga ganyan-ganyan po, sir. I just want to ask, sir, ano po yung ginagawa niyo para ma-prevent po yung scam, sir? Kasi ang dami-dami po until now, kahit meron na pong SIM registration app, ang dami pa rin po nagte-text. Ano po yung ginagawa ng company niyo, sir, to do that or to solve that, sir? Thank you.
Okay. Jo Marie, very good question. Thank you for that, no? Okay, you need to understand, there are two types of SMS. One is the A2P. Yung A2P, ito yung dumadaan sa platform namin. Ito yung mga initiated by companies or organization. So yung API for those, ito yung parang connector na ginagamit ng mga bangko, ng mga company so that they can communicate to our platform and makapag-send sila ng message sa inyo. A2P messages ang tawag doon. Now, meron din tawag tayong peer-to-peer. Ang peer-to-peer naman, ito yung nag-text ka, o Jo Marie, nag-text ka kay Rachel Mer or kay Rain, yung peer-to-peer yon. So yung mga fraudster, kadalasan, nakikita mo, di ba? Ang ginagamit nila, yung peer-to-peer channel. Makaka-receive ka ng 0917-830 something, sasabihin sa iyo, nanalo ka sa bingo, meron kang 5,000 pesos. send mo sa akin yung GCash account mo and magpadala ka ng piso para ma-verify. Those are scam na common sa peer-to-peer. And may ginagawa tayo dyan. SIM registration is one thing, but the other one is putting up an updated firewall system between the P2P network and the core network of Globe so that we can filter yung mga regular expression. Medyo technical yung yung usapan. Regular expression is the way these people, this scammer, creates their message. There's an intelligence that we are putting so that we can capture yung mga commonly used regular expression and block them outright. Sa A2P naman, sa A2P, lahat yan may filter sa amin. So ang ginagawa namin is to make sure that ang makakapag-send lang ng A2P ay yung mga companies na nag-register ng kanilang sender ID. So pag ang sender ID, for example, is Union Bank, rest assured na yung Union Bank, galing yan kay Union Bank mismo. Otherwise, yung ibang telco, inalaw nila yung Union Bank is pinayagan nila yung ibang company na hindi Union Bank. Pero sa Globe at sa M360, makakagamit ka lang ng sender ID kung mapapatunayan mo na ikaw ang may-ari ng sender ID. Na ikaw ang may-ari ng brand name na yon. So marami tayong ginagawang mga paraan. Kasama na rin dito yung pag-improve ng mga firewall natin at saka ng filtering system natin para mabawasan yung mga Kaya lang matatalino rin ang mga scammer. What they're doing, if they cannot hack the system, they're doing a reverse engineering or social engineering technique. Sa mga social engineering technique, mahirap yun kasi kung gullible yung mga tao, madaling mag-fall into that scheme. Siguro ang next natin, kung magkakaroon tayo ng opportunity na magkaroon ng mentorship or something, I can help you understand properly the inner workings of the A2P messaging communication from the end user to the companies who are using our services and to the telecom networks. Was I able to answer your question?
Yes, sir. Very much. Well noted, sir.
Okay. Thank you again. So let's proceed. So next discipline, kasi number 1 pa lang tayo. The discipline to challenge. Okay. So earlier, I explained to you the discipline to challenge. You need to have 2 major sort of mindset that you need to embed into your subconscious. Opening the window and looking in the mirror. It's just names that we're calling it, but basically, the underlying message here is that you need, when you are, in the company, for example, I've been in Yondo for the longest time, for 9 years. I've already seen how it works. I've seen for the first 3, 4, 5 years, I've seen how the system works. And then it comes to a point that it becomes routinary. Things that we know from before, whenever we make planning session, we always use that known data, known belief, known assumptions that the market is like this, and therefore we should do this. Challenge the assumption is a key discipline that you need to imbibe. You need to make sure to yourself that you've done your due diligence before you say na the decision is correct, or the next decision that you're gonna make is actually vetted. So challenge assumption, kailangan mong maging open-minded. Open-minded ka ba? Parang networking lang, parang pyramiding. But to open window is to look from outside for fresh perspective. So like the people here in this picture, they're looking outside for a new perspective, not just what is inside the room. To understand what outsiders see when they look in to your house. So you need to look outside so that you know you have a bit of understanding how the people outside look into your house or into your company, and see what they are looking in. So this is an important discipline, and for you to be able to have that, these are the guide questions that you need to ask yourself or check on yourself. Is that, do you regularly seek out diverse point of view to see multiple sides of an important or complex issues? What practices have you put in place to offset complacency? How deeply do you challenge long-standing assumptions, traditions, and conventional wisdom? Yun ang mahirap. Kasi yung conventional wisdom and the long-standing tradition, more often than not, companies are falling into that mindset that, okay, alam na namin yan eh. Ganyan yan eh. Huwag niyo kontayin, kami veterano dito. We are the veterans in this league, in this industry. Nakita na namin yan. Been there, done that. So if you're a newcomer and you are coming from a fresh perspective, that's the number one challenge that people will complain about, because they will say, nagbibigay kami ng input, kaya lang yung leader namin hindi naman pinapakinggan kasi alam na niya lahat. So if you're a leader, you need to be open to this multiple sides of an important point of view regarding complex issues. Okay? Looking in the mirror, do you encourage both constructive criticism and creative thinking to surface new perspective and better options? Do you purposely reframe important problems from several angles to understand the root causes? Or are you able to confront your own biases as well as those of your team? So yan ngayon ang mga kailangan, mga question na not because you've been there the longest time doesn't mean you have the monopoly of information, or you have the monopoly of understanding of the market. You need to encourage constructive criticism and creative thinking. So kailangan yung leader open sa suggestion. And at the same time, open din siya to any possibilities, to all possibilities. That's the only way you can challenge the assumptions, because those assumptions in the past may be correct. Again, assumptions in the past may be correct, and it may be the reason why you are successful today. But it doesn't mean that those assumptions are always correct, especially when the world is changing, or when unknowingly changes is happening in your respective market, in your respective domain, and you're not aware of it. That is a very critical part of discipline that you need to master for yourself. The challenging the assumption. Don't assume for a second that because it worked in the past, it will always work indefinitely. Okay? After this boot camp, we are supposed to meet again next Monday. But what I want you to do the next Monday is the reverse. Next Monday, you will be the one to provide insight, information, things that you encounter in your actual in your day-to-day life as a student or as a working student or what have you. So please take note and make sure that you understand all this discipline that I'm sharing with you, and make sure that you have some sort of point of view, your own understanding, your own interpretation of this new information that is being shared. Okay, so any question here in this slide? Okay, so let me proceed. The discipline to interpret. Sayang to, hindi ko hindi ko ma-play sa inyo. Mayroon tong mga a nice snippet of video clips na gusto ko sanang ma-share sa inyo, but unfortunately kailangan ko yatang, but I don't want to disrupt kasi the flow of the presentation. So anyway, the discipline to interpret. This is our third discipline. After challenging the assumption, here comes a deluge of information and data. There are so many data, there's so many information that you need to process. And your ability to get all this information using your senses, your eyes, ears, maybe taste, your feelings, emotions, are all important tools so that you can amplify signal. Amplifying signal is about your ability to process, your ability to deduce. In the yung mga police detectives, yung mga movies na ganun, there are two ways to get to the bottom line or get a very actionable insight. Number one is the process of deduction, and the other side of it is the process of induction. So amplifying signal you can also use that, your ability to deduce and induce information so that you can have a very compelling data that is based on the information that you gather from different sources. If I ask you, who is the world's most famous detective? Anyone? Sino ang pinakasikat? Sherlock Holmes. Very good. Whoever answered that. Sino yun?
Lorraine po.
Lorraine, thank you so much. Sherlock Holmes is the archetype of heroic detective shows, diba? And many of his fictional movies, he routinely demonstrates two particular skills that underlie his superb interpretation. And that's basically the ability to deduce and induce information. Sherlock Holmes, diba? I'm supposed to show you this clip, but I can't. So I'm just going to tell you a story. So they were in a table, and then there's Mary Watson, the girlfriend of Dr. Watson. No, not Mary, it's Mary and then Dr. Watson. And then the girl asked her, "Oh, you're a very good detective. You can get information down to the bottom of it just by looking at a particular scene or object," something like that. So, and then she challenged Sherlock Holmes to give her an interpretation of her, and she insisted, and Sherlock Holmes made quite an impressive deduction of the personality profile of the girl, but it didn't end up very well in the scene because he made some sort of assumption that the girl is a bit of a gold digger. That's why she's not a good match with Dr. Watson, his friend. Something like that. But the bottom line here is the observational faculties to amplify signal in the evidences around him. I mean, Dr. Sherlock Holmes believes any mystery can be approached and a solution can be deduced scientifically by gathering necessary data and drawing conclusion based on logic and reason. So that capability is not something supernatural. That's something that you can also use. As a leader, you should be able to use that ability to amplify the signals all around you, to be able to interpret the data that sometimes is in front of you and just telling you something, but you just couldn't quite understand what it means and how will it impact to the overall health of your business. So here's a bit of guide questions to help you interpret data and things around you. So question is, do you systematically develop deep insight about customer experiences, your competitive perspective, or the changing dynamics of your marketplace and industry? Can you move fluidly between specific details in the big picture when analyzing complex data? How well do you do data analysis? Intuition and judgment match the complexity of the problem at hand. So for this amplifying signal, it's basically asking you to do a systematic analysis of many different facets of your business. From the customer point of view, from your stakeholders' point of view, from your employee point of view, from the user of your product point of view, and from the regulatory, for example, NTC or BIR point of view. So these are all information that is swirling around your business, but you need to have a good job. You need to do a good job of understanding what it really means for you. Like, for example, the threat earlier that we've discussed. He asked, how do we protect the consumers from this smishing scams that are happening? And how will the better question is, how will those scams and smishing affect the sustainability of our business? Diba? So asking the right question, because you know there's a smishing that's going on. But if you are the CEO, like me in M360, okay, smishing, hindi naman kami yan, P2P yan, iba naman yan. Hindi naman dumadaan sa amin yan. But then again, you have to sit back and think, how will that incident that is proliferating right now would have an impact on the sustainability of an A2P messaging company like me? Will it eventually lead to loss of trust of those companies, of those end users, to SMS OTP? Possible. Now it will have an impact on me. Will it lead to exploration of a new alternative other than SMS? Possible. Will the regulatory body like DICT or NTC get into the picture and say, oh, we're going to take over from here because of this complaints coming from the consumers because they're being scammed on SMS? That is also possible. And now how am I going to get all this information and process this and get to the bottom of what is really the problem? And how can we solve it? And how can we connect the dots between disparate elements like the regulatory, the end user, the companies that are using it, and those scammers that are taking advantage of the loopholes? So that's the challenge. And you need to have that discipline to interpret those data before it turns out to be a major problem that affects your business. Okay? So that's why your discipline to interpret is highly important for you to become a strategic leader. Again, remember what I'm saying here is to help you become a strategic leader. Because like I said earlier, I don't want you to become just an employee. I want you to become the leader that the employees look up to. And that is possible. That is something that is within your reach. Now you have this information, now you have these tools. You need to internalize it. Make it a part of your habit. Make it a part of your personality. Make it a part of your mindset. The discipline to decide. So, making the discipline to decide. This is the one that we touched on earlier about, do you have the courage to make tough decisions, to make tough calls? Do you decide on impulse, or do you decide based on highly vetted information that is presented to you? Making tough calls is the most difficult leadership challenge. Mahirap yan. What if your decision will lead to firing your colleagues, your team? Can you do that? I'll share with you an example. This is a real story. When I was in Yondu, I'm the vice president handling the enterprise solution. That includes handling the value-added service business of Yondu. That value-added service, that team comprise sales, account managers, technology guys, developers, and project managers. So all in all, there's about 75 people serving under that line of business. But in 2018, the telco decided suddenly that they are going to basically kill off that business, and they are shifting direction of the value-added service business for Globe, Smart, and Sun. So overnight, that vast team who's previously delivering almost 300 million to 500 million revenue year on year is gone. But the bigger question is, what am I gonna do with 75 poor souls that is, wherein their livelihood is now threatened? Am I going to just let go all of them? But I am the leader. I have a mandate from my stakeholders that I need to, number one, manage my costs, make sure that the business unit is profitable, and three, I have to embark on a different business model that to augment the losses. The question is what I'm going to do with the people. So that's a tough call. I have to make tough decision based on the information that I have at hand, understanding the situation that I am in, and putting up a courageous and decision that has a conviction from all stakeholders, including those who are affected. So what happened is that I keep some, but I let go of some. So letting go of people, I tell you, is one of the hardest things that you can do because of the emotional aspect of firing people, letting go of them, and taking away their livelihood from them. But as a leader, you need to have that courage. You need to have that conviction, and you need to have, you know, a single-mindedness of your decision. Once you come into that decision, you have to execute it according to what is good for everyone. And that tough call, eventually, in your young life, or your not so young life, you'll probably encounter that. The question is, what did you do during that situation? Are you happy with the decision? Did it allow you to sleep soundly at night? Diba? So in many cultures, people are more concerned with avoiding mistake when making decision, and of course, dodging the blame. They instinctively duck under the table or throw colleagues under the bus when the going gets tough. Conversely, those braver soul naman who show courage, problem doon, they might rush into judgment without exploring their options fully. What I want for all of you, my dear students and future leaders of PUP, is to improve your inner decider-in-chief capability by striking the right balance between boldly moving forward and coolly exploring your options. So yung iba kasi parang because I wanted to be a courageous leader, I make a decision right away. That's not that's also dangerous. If you decide without fully exploring your option, you're running the danger of running a bad decision from the get-go, and it will bite you in your ass eventually. So again, for you to become to get into that discipline to decide, you need to strike the balance of your courageous aspect of decision making and your cool aspect of exploring option, understanding data, understanding information. Kasi if you're too cold for comfort naman, you run the risk of, ayun yung tinatawag nila, analysis paralysis. Hindi ka na makapag-decide. Kasi ano pa ibang option? Ano pa ibang option? Hindi ka happy. Parang gano'n. Naubos na yung time mo, naubos na yung brain cells mo sa kaka-explore ng option na paulit-ulit na hindi naman nagbibigay sa'yo ng nawawala yung the impact of your decision is being diluted. So you need to strike the balance between the two. Being courageous and being careful and cautious. Mahirap, no? Pero may mga may mga paraan, but kailangan practice. Kailangan ma-put into practice, and then you will learn from it. The more you get into that situation and the more you learn from out of it, the better you become the next time. So the next time that situation happens, you are more equipped, you are more experienced. Therefore, the likelihood of you getting that decision correct is also higher. So good luck to that, because even me at this point, it's always a struggle. But you have to go through it. Question? If no question, I'll ask question. But we only have like 10 or 15 minutes left. So, okay, go ahead, Richelle Mir. How do I call you? Richelle?
Richelle Mir po.
Richelle Mir.
Yes
Richelle,
po. So sir, may question po ako. Sa paggawa po ng isang decision, paano po kaya namin mababalance yung short-term goals po namin sa long-term goals po namin?
Okay.
Like, paano po namin ma-assure na align yung short-term goals namin dun sa long-term goals po namin?
Ah, that's
Or
that's
how
a
do
good
we balance
question.
po?
That's a good question. Actually, that one is on another topic, but I'll answer you right now. So you have a long-term goal. Your long-term goal, it has to have clarity. If you establish clarity of what you want in the future, now your long-term goal, the secret is for you to be able to break it down into smaller goals. So for you to be able to align your short-term goal to your long-term goal, just make sure muna na malinaw sa iyo ano ba ang long-term goal mo talaga. And if you already bought into that long-term goal, and you know that this is what I really want, then your short-term goal, it's easy to align it to that. Kasi you know naman that your short-term goal is you have two possible outcomes, success, failure, diba? So if you are failing in that short-term goal and you're getting different result, you have to go back again to your long-term goal and ask yourself, is this still what I want? If you say yes, that's still what you want, then you go back to your short-term goal and assess, is this aligned? Or I mean, are my actions here helping my long-term objective with, when you do the breakdown of your long-term, did it address somehow my the breakdown of my short-term goals that I can achieve on the short term? Let's say, for example, you wanted to become a project manager of a multinational company 3 years from now. It's a very clear, concise. 3 years from now, you wanted to be a project manager, not just any company, but a multinational company. Yun lang muna, in 3 years, a project manager. And how then you can become a project manager? You can break it down. Now you're what? An accounting graduate, for example, but you wanted to be a project manager. It's not impossible. It could happen. So you need to take action. You need to learn things about methodologies, about project management, execution plans and methodologies. You need to understand waterfall. You need to understand agile. And those things, you can align your goals in actions to achieving that. And then learning that, getting certification, etc., etc. So it's easy for you to align, what I'm saying, it's easier for you to align your short term to your long term if your long term goal is concise and very clear to you, and you have your full buy-in of that long term goal. I hope I was able to provide some context or answer your question.
Yes po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay. So that basically is it for another and another topic. But yeah, thank you for that, Richard Mayor. Showing courage to get into the decision is tied up to your planning, because you're seeing sooner, right? Seeing you know what's going to happen. You interpret the data, you analyze it. Now it's up to you to make a decision. What do I want to do? What do I want to do with all this information ahead of me or in front of me? So if you exercise, like I said kanina, these disciplines are multiplicative. If you exercise just one and forget the other, you may not get the desired result. You may not get what you want because you're forgetting the others. Because how can you come up with a very good decision if you did not interpret well the data, the information, or the things that are happening? If you did not exert effort to get more information, to delve into the data, if you did not exercise your option to try to foresee the future, either yourself or to your mentor or somebody who has been there, you need to, open that channel of communication so that you can get information. You can get input so that when you make a decision, you would have the courage because you're doing the right thing. Again, you need to explore your options just to make sure that you're not rushing anything into a failed result by doing very courageous but not well thought out decision. Okay. The discipline to align. So this is the fifth. We're getting closer to the completion. The discipline to align. Align in a nutshell is the ability to, when I say align, is in a business perspective, align the grand vision with workable strategy. So nakita niyo na ba kung ano yung mga, di ba PUP kanina nung pinakita yung video, nakalagay doon yung mission and vision statement ng PUP. All companies has that mission vision. M360 has one. So, but the challenge of the president of PUP is how do I align this grand vision and mission statement to my faculty, to my students, to my benefactors, to the government, to everyone in the ecosystem of the academe of PUP. The discipline to align in a nutshell is your ability as a leader to make it happen, to align your grand vision to all your key players in the industry, key players, stakeholders, customers, what have you. And everybody that is relevant, because rallying your key players to a common purpose is crucial to the execution of your vision and strategy. Okay. Rally key players. These are your team members, for example. Or in your case, if you are a student, and you are running a thesis as a group, and you are the leader, you need to make sure that your team members has buy-in to your vision and mission and to your purpose, so that all of them will play an important part to make sure that that is aligned to the completion of your goals and strategies. The second major theme is bridging differences. Bridging differences is important to resolve conflict. To resolve the conflict among stakeholders within the company and the ecosystem. Because not everyone, I'll tell you, not everyone would have a total 100% buy-in of what you're trying to achieve. So if Globe earlier, like I mentioned to you, they wanted to shift the Globe into a digital solutions platform provider instead of concentrating mainly into the telco business, not everyone in Globe would be happy to go into that route, because number one, it's the focus and the attention is now shifting. So kung yung mga star player dito dahil sa telco business, teka, napapag-iwanan kami. Nahiwan kami dito sa legacy. Yung mga napupunta sa digital, sa industry ng digital is the one getting the attention. Much to our delight, because I'm part of the other group. So not all of them will have a buy-in. So your ability as a leader to bridge the differences is very crucial, because time and again, a house divided is the house that's easily to fall. That's easy to fall. So make sure that all your key players are having buy-in, and those who are dissenting opinion, you need to put them in the proper context, maybe a dialogue with them, so that the differences are, patched. So I wanted to talk about our own mission and vision so that it gives you an idea what exactly is a mission and vision statement. Because the mission and vision statement is basically this is what I always tell my team. Guys, our mission and vision statement is very simple, plain, and straightforward. But this mission and vision statement is our North Star. Our North Star. When you get lost, and everything that you do, kagaya ng question kanina ni Rachel Mir, paano mag-a-align yung short term ko sa long term? It happens. Most of the time, it happens. Our mission and vision is our North Star. So if you are lost, you go back to the mission and vision, and somehow you can digest that, oh, what I'm doing pala is no longer aligned to our mission. Our mission to enable businesses with digital communication, meaningful conversation anywhere in the world, using our reliable platform. Our vision to be the leading communications provider in Asia Pacific region. This is very clear. I'm not saying I wanted to be the best in the world. I want to be one of the leaders, not just in the Philippines, but in the Asia Pacific region. And I want to help my businesses, our stakeholders, our partners, to get them closer to their customers. So everything that we are going to do, any product development that we're going to embark on, any initiative that we're going to embark on, must be aligned to our vision and our mission. And that makes my decision easier. And that makes the people who is, have their own autonomy to create new products, autonomy to improve our systems and processes, autonomy to work with our stakeholders like our customers. They can do it themselves without having to go back to me, because the mission is clear and the vision is clear, right? So to give you more information about
We're building connections like never before for businesses to reach more of those who matter. M360 is a multi-channel messaging platform that helps you make conversations more meaningful. We're reimagining communications, which can make all the difference. So you can engage more, do more, and achieve more. M360, more than messaging. Talk to an M360 expert today.
Okay, so the key here is clarity. The key is clarity, and the key is to align and communicate this to all stakeholders, especially your employees, your team members. If you're a leader, your number one role is basically to influence them, and basically to motivate them to put all their best effort towards the achievement of your goals as a company. So this is not just my goal, it's our goal. And I am not remiss on telling them or reminding them that what we're doing in M360 has an impact not just to their lives, our employees' lives, but to the country as a whole. If we succeed in M360, we are helping our partners, our businesses, customers succeed in their own in their own businesses, like the banks, like these financial companies, like these e-commerce companies, the logistic companies, because they cannot fulfill their services to you, the consumer, if there's no communication channel like M360. They cannot continue to improve the engagement of their customer to their brand if there's no communication channel. Because communication, not just SMS, but all these channels combined, helps the brand reach out to their customer, converse establish conversation, thereby increasing the engagement level. If there's an engagement level, there's a higher chances of conversion from discovery of their product into a purchase. So that's what we're bridging the gap. That's where we are helping our partners, our customers, to make them successful in what they are doing, using our platform, using our capabilities. So we allow them to use our capabilities freely, so that they'll be successful. We are embedded in the digital workflow, business workflows of this organization. So when they're doing their digital transformation, they are calling our messaging API, so that messaging has become an inherent package into the business workflow or solution that they offer to their customer. Okay, so that's how you rally your key players. And when you bridge the differences, questions to ask yourself: do you pinpoint and address the conflicting interests among stakeholders? Do you understand the needs and motivation of these stakeholders? Why are they complaining? Why are they saying no to you? Why do they have dissenting opinion? And how are you going to build bridges across those interests? The basic answer to that is you need to understand. You need to know. Because if you don't know, then how can you address? Strategic leaders surely must know how to find common ground and achieve buy-in among stakeholders who may have divergent agendas. So when you are launching new strategies, whether you're a student or a leader in a company or a future leader, you must be able to shepherd others along the desired path. The gap between strategy and execution is painfully difficult to bridge. But again, you need to do it, and you need to practice doing it, because it's a critical aspect of your leadership and your leadership ability. Okay. Do you think the mission and vision statement of PUP is something that you can relate? Kabisado niyo ba ang mission and vision statement ng PUP? Ako hindi. Sorry. But if you are part of the community in PUP, di ba? So it was yung kanina, mission and vision, PUP. To be I captured it to be the most respected polytechnic university in the country, something. So that's why PUP is doing all this initiative, including this bootcamp, because this is aligned to the original and grander vision statement of PUP. And you, as student leaders, dapat aware kayo doon. Dapat alam nyo kung ano yung mission vision ng PUP, because you're part of it. You're the one, you're basically the customer. You're basically the byproduct of PUP. And PUP will become successful if you become successful. So that's something that you need to put in your heads.
We're building connections like never before.
Okay, so I mean, this is just another way for me to align this mission vision statement to stakeholders, not just my employees, but also the customers and other stakeholders. So this is a link in our social media campaign to blast to the awareness of everyone the M316 mission and vision statement. Okay. Last but not the least, Okay, we're almost near the conclusion. The roadmap to strategic leadership will not end without your learning the discipline to learn. Learning the discipline to learn is very important because parang ano to parang okay, you've done all that, now what? Strategic leaders mostly face their fears and promote organizational culture of inquiry and discovery. We must encourage our people to try new things and share what they learn. We can harvest the data of failure and success. Your success, our failures, the team failures, even the competition as well, looking at them and the industry as a whole. Then discuss it openly. So these are the things that you can do to promote learning, because learning is like in the ITIL process or the IT information library, ang dulo nun, continuous service improvement. Parang ganito rin yan, continuous service improvement by continuously looking at the whole cycle of learning, the whole cycle of discipline, from from alignment, anticipation, from decide up to this process. What have you learned? What have you discovered? What are the things that help you put into proper perspective and help you guide your team succeed and hitting your goals and objectives? So the discipline to learn is something like an audit. You need to do a step back. So in M360, what we're doing is every quarter, we're doing a step back because we've run the business, we've run the strategy, we've run our strategic place and action plan for the first quarter. And then there's already a tangible result. Now, what are you going to do with the tangible result? These are the information that you gather. These are the result. These are the data. And this is the feedback from all the stakeholders. You do the step back. You do the step back. You do the assessment and learn. Get some learning. And then identify things that what works and what went wrong. What went right and what went wrong. You need to have that clarity when you do the step back of the business plan. And discipline to learn is an important aspect or a discipline that you need to understand and incorporate in your day-to-day, because you get a better perspective of what you're doing. It's not like you're running blindly. So, and you need to do experimenting widely and delve deeply. I am referring to how you're going to handle all of those data that's being presented to you. You have to encourage experiment, fail fast so that you can learn fast. It's parang fail fast, succeed faster. It's a source of innovation and learnings. Resilience and fast recovery from mistake constitute a model of all strategic leaders. And another guide question: do you look closely and learn from outside in? To what extent do you seek ideas from beyond the boundaries of your own sphere or your own domain or business? This learn completes the entire discipline cycle. And the sixth discipline, like I said earlier when we started, is important, and you need to put this practice together. Not just one, not just two, but hopefully all of them. Imbibe them. Put this in your subconscious. Put them in your mindset. Put this in your frame of thoughts, so that when you are confronted with real world scenarios, with real world experiences, you have something to fall back on and use as a leverage, as a tool, so that you can address the challenges that lies ahead of you. So again, to summarize everything, this is your personal plan. This is what I'm going to leave to you so that eventually you can be successful in your life. Number one, assess how well you can master the 6th discipline. You need to have a scorecard. Di ba? 6 yon, ilagay nyo doon. Nasaan ba ako ngayon sa alignment capability ko? Nasaan ako sa deciding capability ko? Nasaan ako sa alignment ko? Is this my weakness? If I score myself 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, my honest opinion, am I on the 5 or am I on the 3 or 2 or 1? 1 being the worst. So that it gives you a bit of understanding that these are the gaps that I need to address. And then you can ask your mentor or you can ask your friend, them knowing you, assess mo nga ako, sir. Assess mo nga ako dyan, ma'am, na tingin mo ba aking ability to learn, ability to, my discipline to decide. Is it a 5 to you? Is it a 3? Is it a 4? Is it a 2? Or am I poor, very poor at 1? So when you do that assessment, then you also learn, saan ba ako magaling? Saan ba ako malakas? What are my strengths? And then understanding your strength, you can continue to build what comes naturally to you. Because that's your strength. Magaling ako sa alignment. Kasi people manager ako. Magaling akong mag-rally ng tao ko. Magaling ako sa mag-motivate ng tao. I will continue to play on that and continue to become a better leader through that. But at the same time, I will have to assess where I'm missing, where I'm weak, and continue to improve on that. And then when you understand where your gaps are, you address those critical to your situation. So when I say critical to your situation, where you are today. So if your vision for yourself is to become a CEO someday, what are the things that you need to improve on at this point? Either higher learning, higher study, or probably you enter into a mentoring program, or either you go into a company that will help you showcase your strength and help you bridge the gap for your weaknesses, then you can do that. So all of your actions from moving forward will help you achieve your long-term goals. And you select the right tools, the scan wider, delve deeply. Those are the tools that you can use so that you're not veering away from the right disciplines, from the mindset, from the framework of the disciplines. You need to create a plan to nurture your strategic leadership in yourself, in your team. And lastly, no man is an island. You need to leverage support from others in your organization and beyond. My take on that is that if you can have someone that can be your mentor, somebody that you look up to, somebody that can help you, take advantage of that. Ask. The key there is you need to ask, because if you don't ask, the answer will always be no. So that's things that I learned in my years of experience as a leader. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. So ask. Nothing will happen if you ask nicely. If you don't ask pala. So basically, classmates, students, that wraps up the whole shaping the future sharing with you. I truly hope that I was able to impart key learnings and significant insight to you that can help you achieve your dreams, your aspiration. I know you're young, you are very motivated, you have your own aspiration. But lucky for you, you're not gonna swim alone. You're not gonna swim aimlessly. You have these tools, you have these learnings, you have this mindset. Make it happen. Go for it. Congratulations to all of you. I turn you over back to Marvel, I guess.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Mon, for generously sharing your time and expertise with us. We are very much honored and privileged to have you as our resource speaker in this module, sir. No? Isang mainit-init na virtual palakpak naman for Sir Mon. Everyone, please. Ayun, napakarami, sabi na nga po si Re. Mga gising tong mga to eh. Ito nakakatuwa, sir, kasi itong grupo na ito ay mga uhaw po talaga sa learning, no? So, ayan po sila. Hanggang sa tapos po ng lecture, nandyan po sila. Kahit mga naka-off po ang cam nila, for sure po na nakikinig po sila. Thank you so much. Okay. Also, I would like to congratulate our student participants present today for participating actively in our lecture delivered by Sir Mon. Congratulations. Palakpak ulit para sa sarili. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. And before we end this session, the evaluation link, I think, is posted already. Please do not forget to access it. Also, may I request everyone to please open your camera for a mandatory picture taking. Ayan. Picture po tayo. Ayan. There. Thank you so much. You know, mga nagagwapuhan at nagagandahan po nating participants kasama ang ating makisig na speaker. Okay, picture po tayo. We actually have 2 panels. So first panel po muna, ayan. Smile everyone kasi hindi natin alam kung nasa ang panel tayo. Smile po. Also, can I ask, pakiclick ako ng isang reaction kung anong nararamdaman nyo today. Ayan. Yan. So lahat po ay may reaction ng screen. Yeah, ang ganda tignan. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There. Second panel. Keep clicking your icon. Ayan. 1, 2, 3. Smile everyone. There. Thank you so much. Okay, again, thank you everyone. Thank you, Sir Mon. So may assignment tayo, no? Meron ibibigay si Sir Mon na assignment sa atin. Isesend na lang ni Sir Mon sa akin and then I'll gonna forward it to our FB group.
Yep.
And then by Monday, yes, Sir Mon?
Yeah, so what I was saying, I'm Monday siguro it will be more interactive, I guess, because you're going to share your learning style. The assignment that I'm going to share with you is basically some sort of a scorecard to assess yourself, and then you gotta explain to us why you score yourself that way. So I'm going to create sort of a template that you will fill up, and then you need to ask someone to make an assessment for you about you as well. So 2-part yon, your assessment of yourself and your mentor or someone who's hopefully with authority that can give you a proper assessment of where you are in terms of your leadership, discipline, status. Where you are, where's the gap, where's your strength?
Thank you, sir. So maybe sa ating recognition day, meron tayong 2 parts. First is yung interactive parang evaluation of sermon, and then last part is yung awarding natin. Okay? Okay. Thumbs up, everyone, kung naiintindihan natin ang gagawin natin for the next meeting. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Okay, so I'm gonna end this session. I'm inviting everyone to please sing the PUP hymn. I think si Sir Mon ay namimiss rin itong PUP hymn natin. Okay, so I'm gonna end this session by singing the PUP hymn. Everyone, I'm inviting you. Again, thank you very much and have a safe afternoon. Again, thank you so much. And I'm gonna end this show in 3, 2, 1. Bye po!